Yeah.
Like this.
Niggas live off 30K a year, so
Yeah.
imagine if you got $1 million and you get for 200 years.
That's 1.5 chrome yard pants.
Yeah, I ain't never even get the hype behind them joints.
Yeah, I don't even know what they look like.
I think they ugly. I was like, I kind of like, I get it, it's a flex, but
like, even when we had our trends, True Religions and Rock the Republic, like, them joints were like 200 tops.
Yeah.
Like 10,000 for jeans, my guy. Please. That shit better be like all diamonds and rubies.
You better hold the value.
And like that, we're back with another Unpack presented to you by the To Be Fair Show and
the GSH Podcast.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
Even you.
All right, y'all see it. We are back with another one. So there has been some recent events or verdicts that have came down, and it has renewed a couple different conversations. I think we're going to rehash an episode previous and see more or less if some of our opinions stood the test of time. Again, we're talking about the Carmelo Anthony case. We're talking about Cyrus inside South Carolina. And we're going to wrap this into kind of like a current state of Black affairs in America. And ask an important question. Y'all see the title. Which identity should come first? Is there actual privilege in being an American before being Black? Is there benefits? Is there one that you should have more pride in? But before we get into that, y'all see the guys. G, talk to him.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's G, host of the GSH Podcast, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future. Forget about everything else. Check it out wherever you get your pods. Just search GSH POD.
Got you. Oh. And beside him, y'all see him. It is.
I thought that was the private pause.
It was, but beside him, y'all see it. It is the mayor of Charlotte. The Black is gold. Hey, Black, what's going on, brother?
Yo, man, what's up, everybody? We out here. Happy Wednesday. I'm just happy to be here, man. Let's get it.
All right. And beside him, a third of the To Be Fair Show, host of the To Be Fair Show, Johnny, what's going on?
What up, family? How y'all doing, man? Glad to be back. We're gonna have a fun one tonight. My Knicks getting they getting towed up right now, so man, we're gonna pray for them.
Your Knicks, that's your team.
Right now they are. I made my prediction last week.
Are you riding with the prediction?
Got to. But yeah, let's get into it.
All right, cool. That's better, right, G?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So, nonetheless, as he said, the Knicks, it's a little belt-ish. Before we go into this topic, who do y'all got? If it stands 2-2, going back to San Antonio.
I'm still sticking with the Spurs, man. Like I'm telling you. And the win is different. Like his presence, even if he ain't having the highest performing game, like the defensive end, like he just affect the game so crazy when he in it. And when his guys around him, like Harper and these dogs he got, Castle, they on Fox on today. It's a wrap for real. They can win 4 in a row. I think they came into this series
Spurs and 6. Okay.
Stress from OKC, and the Knicks such a different playing style. They had to get adjusted. Once you figure the niggas out, and then you punk them and take their confidence, Now you about to be up by what 40 going into the half. So
Yeah. And when you say punk them, what do you mean by that?
like just they got physical in New York,
Was there a
in front of,
specific play
I
that we
mean,
talk about?
Wimby been throwing bows and he get a shot in, but at the same time,
Did
people
he
be
did he
getting shots
mush
in on him
Jalen
too a lot.
Brunson and then laugh at him and then
Yeah,
nothing happened?
I love that. I laugh at him, man, because this is how we play in on the courts. Like, if you go up against a dude that big when you hooping,
Mhm.
they go toss you down. Like, don't even insult me trying to check me. Get your little ass out of here. And that's that's what it was. That's how I saw it. I didn't feel like it was like real malicious. Like he trying to
Mhm.
injure him. He's like it was like a little nigga move. Like get out of here, little nigga. Trying to box me
Gotcha.
out. Shit.
Johnny,
They
have you ever
talk.
been Jalen Brunson?
Uh, I always had a Draymond on my team, man. He ain't just gonna
Okay,
do that
okay.
to me. Yeah, you ain't gonna. Or I'm gonna get mine back. So yeah, that's
You
what
going
I
for
was
the
just.
knees? Okay.
It's damn right, ankles, whatever I could get. Like you ain't just gonna do that. That's why I was disappointed at. I felt like it wasn't no get back. It wasn't no. I felt like that took the heart from the Knicks a little bit because like they just threw their hands up, kind of looking to the referee. You got to go handle that in that situation, especially in the finals. And yeah, I think that's where the ship, the tide started turning for the Knicks right there in that play.
Gotcha. G. Oh my bad, Johnny. What is your prediction, real quick?
Uh, I said Knicks in 5 last week. I'm saying Knicks in 6 right
Knicks
now.
and 6. Okay.
This
Yeah,
way.
Um.
maybe halftime. Yeah.
What we got, G?
I said Knicks and 6 originally. If they lose this game in this type of fashion, they probably gonna lose 4 straight. They got to make this competitive, to say the least. Because if they go out like some hoes like this,
It's
back to
almost
back
30,
games
man.
in New York, I think Wemby gonna get those
I
back
don't
to
think
back, man.
I don't think they'll win 4 in a row because they'll have to come back to New York. And I feel like it'll be some
Nah,
fight.
the next two in
As
San
long as Donald
Antonio.
Trump come, everything's smooth.
No. It's San Antonio, New York, and back to San Antonio after this.
Oh,
So
okay.
they will
Yeah,
have to come back to New
I
York.
think I
So
think that if they go win 4 in a row, they'll beat them in New York. Like,
not the last game. I don't see that
yeah,
happening.
man, that's New
Yeah,
York karma.
I
right.
think it's
Yep.
gonna go 7. Spurs in 7.
They
But
over there fighting fans and shit.
That
but
was fucked up.
yeah, I
Taking
heard about
jerseys
that.
off niggas.
Wow, boy.
I
But
don't think
nonetheless,
Spurs losing no
to go
more.
to the more current events that's happened, um, there was a verdict that was reached this week for a case that we talked about maybe a year ago. Um, and so I guess I'll give a couple just random TikToks. These aren't necessarily the most vetted, but I'm gonna push play and we're gonna see what information it kind of brings up to us for us to discuss.
Look, I know we want to be mad. I know we want to hoot and holler, but let's make sure we be mad and hoot and holler at the right person, okay? I'm just gonna rapid fire some fun facts. 1, the prosecution called 21 witnesses, 20 or 21. 2, the defense called 6 witnesses. 3, Carmelo Anthony did not take the stand. 4, there were 3 questions that the defense was expected to answer in order for Carmelo to get a lesser charge. A, why he had the knife at the track meet. B, what were the circumstances that led to the altercation? C, was the force that Carmelo Anthony used justifiable based on the circumstances that led to the altercation? Lord, I lost track of the numbers from part A, B, and C. I think we on 4. The defense literally got up in front of one of their witnesses and said, I only spoke to you 2 minutes in the hallway last week. We've never spoken before that. 5, the prosecution got up on cross for that same witness and said, well, you and I have talked and we've discussed things, and I was just texting your parents last week, showing that the prosecution had an established ongoing relationship with one of the defendant's witnesses. Now, based on all of the things you just heard, do you think the jury was wrong for coming to the conclusion that they came to based on what they were presented with? And remember those 3 questions. The defense did not answer any of those questions.
All right. We'll go with this one right here.
Anthony
Chris
verdict is
Promo and
in, and he has
Anton.
been found guilty in under 3 hours. Now, it is a very simple fact pattern. And the damning fact is not simply that Carmelo Anthony told officers right away that he did it, that there was nothing alleged about it, and he said it was self-defense right away, but it was a head-on plunged knife into the chest of the victim, another teenager. You know the fact pattern. Carmelo Anthony, young black kid at a track meet. Some white kids tell him to get out of a tent that was there for the rain, but it was only for their team and not his team. And he says something to one, and one says something back, and there's someone else there, and a knife comes out, and Carmelo Anthony plunges it into the chest of another teen, and he dies. Is it self-defense? The jury was all white. The prosecutors say this is a race-neutral crime. This is a very fraught situation that now is going to have these obvious indications of bias. Why did it have to be all white? Why couldn't it have black jurors? What does race neutral mean? What did it mean in this context? Is this justice? Does 3 hours mean that it was just a simple pattern and he had acknowledged it and it couldn't be seen any other way? If a black jury had been involved, they also often find black defendants guilty. Would black people on the jury have made a difference? Should there have been black people on the jury anyway? This has been covered constitutionally. Do you have to have mixed race to reflect the race of the defendant and anybody else? No.
Defendant?
That is not a constitutional protection of equal protection or of due process. If you're black, you don't have to have black jurors. If you're white, you don't have to have white jurors. However, there can be issues based on bias. Is this one of those cases?
So he didn't really take a position, and this is one of the reasons why I look at Chris Cuomo as, I don't know how to frame it. The one thing that I'm going to say is stating the obvious doesn't mean anything. Taking a position and substantiating your argument while you do so means a lot.
All right, we'll end off with our guy.
The money set aside for appeals bond. Why? We already got the money set aside for appeals bond. Why? All white jury, the judge and the DA are buddies, along with the dad, best friends. That's been our trump card. We've been holding. We already knew that, but we wanted everything to play out how they had it. I can't wait till I walk. The family, we waiting on each other. Yeah. I've been riding with the family, nigga, since day one. I'm sorry, since day 5. Listen, the prosecution came back. Now, when did white folks start having compassion? All white jury, everybody 50 plus older. You mean to tell me they can't find nobody that's a jury of his peers? A jury of his peers. I cannot believe Collin County dropped the ball like this here. I cannot believe, as racist as Collin County has been since they have existed, all them white people talking about what they gonna do, they ain't gonna do shit, nigga. They ain't gonna do shit. When Makai Johnson and Galvin Long killed them motherfucking white police officers, you white motherfuckers didn't do a goddamn thing. Not no guilty. If you think they're gonna find him guilty and they just put manslaughter on as a charge and it wasn't on there in the beginning, you don't know law, cracker. You like the dumb white boy that had the whip. He can't spell either, nigga. Yeah. God has spoken. And you cannot make me believe that as many gray hair white women on that jury that's dealing about going to heaven.
All right, my bad. All right, so nonetheless, y'all got the gist.
Nigga's a clown, man.
All right,
nigga can talk, man.
He can. Fellas, what is y'all thoughts? After these thoughts, we'll go to the G highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, like, where is the video at? Because didn't they say it's video, but it seemed to be nothing like publicized.
Yeah, I don't think they've showed it.
Did they? And that was one of the things that I was trying to find before here was a list of the actual facts from the case.
And then I heard it's not a knife because they make it seem like he just rolls around with a knife like Rambo. It was a cleat tool, one of the little spike joints you use for your cleats in track that he had in his bag. But they've been like saying this knife thing, like nigga just walking around like a Boy Scout, wishing a nigga would. And
so wait, hey Black, you saying it wasn't a knife?
nah, it was a sharp object, but it wasn't like a knife. It was like a track tool that they had laying around there. Yeah, like he just had the shit in his bag and was waiting
That's
for the
important
moment.
though. I think
Are
it's
you
very
sure that's
important.
correct? Because I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Look it
that
up.
side. And that's why I said I want to see the.
That would be important though. That'd be a very important distinction.
That goes to what that
I haven't
lady
heard
said,
that
though,
in
to be
any
honest.
detail of the case that it wasn't a knife.
That would go to what the lady had talked about.
They've been saying
she laid out
stabbing.
like 2 or 3, where it was to the defense's, like it was their job to prove why he would have said object. Like what you're saying proves why he would have said object.
If a lawyer can't do that, that's crazy though.
Stabbing is what happened, but what he was stabbed with.
Hey, but it says it was a 3.5-inch blade. A knife with a 3.5-inch blade. That's what I'm reading. I don't know. I mean, if you got another source that says something different, please share it. But I see that it's a weapon was a knife with a 3.5-inch blade.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's different messages coming out because then there's people that saying they were there or saw the video and saw that he was being bullied and harassed. It's premeditated stuff, being like, oh, they been had beef, and he was prepared for it. So I don't know, but I know just like with the jury, with the DA, the judge, and them all being friends and all that being linked together, it definitely wasn't a fair shot given to him. And I feel like if this was a bunch of black kids that jumped a white kid and he poked one of them, they'd be like, well, shit, good riddance. Why you was jumping that white kid? So, I mean, who's to say he overreacted? That's what everybody's like, oh, he had to kill him or that's too much. But when you're in the moment, if you've been in like in a fight and shit, like you're not really thinking about that. And this nigga coming at me, I already don't like you. And I done told you before. And I can look at them boys just like they can look at us and say, oh, you're a thug and whatever. I look at them and say, oh, he's definitely bullying. They was definitely trying to fuck with him. And Karmelo was definitely talking shit. Like Trayvon was talking shit. Like everybody talks shit. And we get the upper hand and win the shit. And then it's like either we get killed or they get killed. But when they get killed, we go down for it. They get off. It's self-defense for everybody else. But for him, it's like, oh, he had to do all of that. But why was y'all bullying this dude in the fucking rain? Like, nobody wants to answer that. Kids are kids. So, I mean, hey, shit happens. Accidents happen. That's why you can't be fighting. Niggas fall, trip, hit their head on sidewalks. That didn't mean to happen, but this is the risk you take when you engaging with somebody. And everybody should have taught their kids it's on both sides. The white kid, hey, you go starting shit with niggas, you might get caught. Black kid, hey, you kill one of these crackers, we might not get off. Like, so everybody gotta make the right decisions and teach their kids based on the environment they in. In Texas, it seems to be predominantly white. So you gotta either tell your kids how to deal with situations where they getting antagonized or take them out of them white environments and put them somewhere comfortable where they can still thrive and shit. If you can't do that, then they got to know how to move. Like they got to communicate. I'm being bullied by this shit. Don't be trying to take up for yourself. Because when this happens, we ain't gonna win most of the time. So I don't know. It's sad all around, and 35 years might end up being 10, and with an appeal less than that, might get a mistrial. So I just feel like it's some more information. This shit happens so fast. Like I think they a couple hours and shit total for this case.
It was like 3 days. Like this shit, the case, like even some cases take weeks and months. This shit felt like they rushed through it.
Yeah.
Well, if they rushed through it, it wasn't the prosecutor that rushed because they called mad witnesses. It was the defense.
That's actually
his own lawyers.
They
didn't
called
call
like
nobody
6.
up.
Yeah.
But did he have a good lawyer or a public defender?
I mean, I thought he was raising a lot of money.
He raised money to get a good lawyer. But
that's what we hear on social media.
I got a question though.
How
What
much
did
is
he
getting free?
ultimately get charged with? Was it first degree, second degree? I heard it was manslaughter. What was the actual like final like verdict?
It
Was he
was
was guilty of?
Murder
murder, but
one.
I don't know what
That's
degree.
first degree. Now
Yeah.
I don't. I think that's what could be argued because like first degree to premeditation. I think it's super like you can't premeditate somebody bullying you. Now, it may be like a involuntary manslaughter or something could have been more appropriate because like you if you go over, sometimes you may could have, retreated and didn't have to kill the guy, but you shouldn't get 35 years for a fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a fight. Maybe, five like you might have did something like where you might have should have walked away at one point, but like 35 is like overkill. And that just shows how biased it is because you didn't even give him the appropriate like charge. Like, to try to like claim premeditation when it's clearly that somebody else engaged. Like at the most, it could be manslaughter, like overkill. You probably maybe you didn't have to stab him like that. You could have went, but like if you didn't start the thing, there's no way it could be like a premeditation or first degree. I feel like
So Johnny, let me read because in Texas it's 4 types of homicide. There ain't no murder one, murder two, etc. You got capital murder,
that's when you
murder.
commit the felony.
They say in Texas specifically, capital murder is murdering a first responder, a child under 15, killing multiple people, or killing someone during another serious felony like robbery or kidnapping. So that's
Okay,
that's capital. What
so what
Carmelo was charged
it
with,
wasn't that.
it carries 5 to 99 years or life in prison, intentionally or knowingly causing a death, or intending to cause serious bodily injury and committing an act clearly dangerous to life. That's how they define murder in Texas.
What's the one under that though?
Manslaughter.
What's that? Well, how do you define that?
Like in a car,
Recklessly causing a death, meaning you didn't necessarily plan or intend to kill someone, but your reckless actions caused it.
That's the more appropriate one right there.
They did try to
Nah,
get that. They just
That's the
it got
more
shut
appropriate
down.
one. Like I think that way more, but I think like that's the more appropriate one. I feel like I felt like I said the defense could have argued just that point there and could have
But you
could have
can't you
saved it.
can't you can't argue manslaughter when you're on trial for murder. You see what I'm saying? Like there was already a back and forth on like what is he going to get charged with? Like once they put you up for murder, you can't say, well, technically he shouldn't be on trial for murder.
But if it doesn't meet
Then he's
the
free.
standards of
Then
murder,
he's
that's why you
free.
should argue that it wasn't premeditated. You know what I'm saying? If you argue it's manslaughter, you're charging them for murder, then they have to let him go if it don't meet the criteria to live up to murder.
If you could prove that in court, if the lawyer would have been able to prove that in court, then he would have went free.
I feel like that should be such an easy, like, I don't know. I feel like that would be easy to differentiate, like a premeditation where I want to go in and kill this guy.
Premeditation wasn't a part of the definition.
y'all didn't carry knives to school.
What was the definition
it just
again?
said intentionally or knowingly causing a death or intending to cause serious bodily injury and committing an act that clearly is dangerous to life. That doesn't mean premeditation.
But the manslaughter said recklessly. I think it was more reckless what he did versus the intentional.
You could argue where it says or intending to cause serious bodily harm and committing an act clearly dangerous to life was committed.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I ain't no lawyer, but like I'm saying, like if he had a better lawyer, I feel like there was a way better. Like if you didn't like,
they tried.
And I said I didn't get to see a lot of the case because it happened so quick. But I'm going to go back and see like the exact arguments they used because it seemed like they overcharged them. Seemed like they overcharged them, and it'd be easy to like, kind of show that it was a scuffle that just got out of hand. Unfortunately, and it wasn't like an intentional thing.
And so I guess that as I was listening to, and matter of fact, I'll play some of this. Just kind of a quick little recap of a part of just the finishing, the ending, the sentencing.
murdering Austin Metcalf. Now Anthony knows exactly. It took jurors less than 3 hours to decide the fate of the Texas track athlete accused of turning a high school competition into a deadly crime scene. Their verdict? Karmelo Anthony is guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf. Now Anthony knows exactly how many years he'll spend behind bars. And the moment the verdict was read, sparked powerful emotions and sobs inside the courtroom. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Before we get started, I need a bonus on every gallon. Today, jurors not only decided that Anthony was guilty of murder, but they also determined his sentence, 35 years in prison. He's now 19. He'll be in his mid-50s when he gets out. It was an intense day in court. Cody Thomas was there throughout the entire trial, including a very, very emotional day today. Joins us now to break this down. You know, Cody, you think of just, I think there were like two major emotional moments, it seems, today, because you have the verdict where the jury finds Karmelo Anthony guilty of murder, but then you also have, after a period of time, more deliberations, and then here comes the jury deciding his sentence of 35 years. Let's start there. Like, just take us in that moment when the jury comes back with that being the sentence for Karmelo Anthony.
Yeah, Chris, obviously so. There was emotion running rampant throughout that courtroom on both sides. You know, of course, the media is sitting right behind the Metcalf family. So we saw all of those tears. You know, they feel like justice has been served for Austin Metcalf here. They feel vindicated. And of course, there were some celebratory gestures by the Metcalf friends that were in there. They looked like former teammates, five, younger, bigger guys, and a couple of girls that were in there that were sitting right behind the family. When that happened, the family turned around and gave all these kids a hug, kisses on the cheek, and the tears just rolling between Jeff Metcalf and Megan Metcalf, the two parents there, and what I assume to be aunts, uncles, or other family friends that were there as well. Of course, on the other side as well, Chris, Karmelo Anthony's family, tears, but of a different token, right? You know, total opposite. Their son, their child is going to jail going to prison for a very long time here. He's only 19 years old, 35 years. You're not looking at getting that until 54, right? Of course, there's a parole opportunity halfway through that, 17 and a half years, but that's essentially his entire life right now. So I'm sure the emotional gravity on them that they're going to be seeing their loved one who is now convicted murder through plexiglass for the next however long. So just an emotional roller coaster on both sides, a whirlwind in that courtroom, of course, Chris.
Yeah, and you think of, you know, how stoic this family was, how Karmelo was throughout the entire trial, even through the heaviest pieces of testimony that we talked about that brought even jurors to tears. And then you just have this release in finding that you have been found guilty of murder. And then, I mean, you think at minimum, your entire life, 17 years.
Pretty much what the defense is arguing is that this whole thing, kind of like crimes of passion that we cover here at Law and Crime and Court TV, where these sorts of instances kind of happen in the moment. You know, something's going on, heat of the moment, you make a decision. It is a clear mistake. You know, there's no arguing that it's a mistake by the defense, but the sentencing for that would have only carried 2 to 20 years versus what he was ultimately convicted of in murder for 5 to 99 years. And of course, ultimately got a passion thing to try to argue that this was, you know, pretty much not premeditated. He did not go into that tent with the intention to stab anyone. This just all happened all of a sudden. But then, of course, with the prosecution reserving the right to respond, they came back and rebutted pretty much saying, let me tell you why this isn't a sudden passion type of case here, a type of crime here. Because sudden passion, and he brought the definition up on the screen there, sudden passion involves the decedent or the victim to be the provocateur, the one who's instigating the act here. And the prosecution saying, by all of our accounts, all testimony, it was Karmelo Anthony who was the one provoking the incident. So you can't claim if the offender was the one provoking the incident. So that's where the defense came back, or the prosecution came back. So it was a real clash on this sudden passion thing, which ultimately the jury did not side with, convicting him of that murder. Now facing 35 years behind bars.
And you think of the sudden passion part of it to argue that Austin Metcalf was the one who provoked this incident. No matter for people watching this who may have an opinion and they agree or disagree with the verdict, like by the time we were talking about sudden passion, like the guilty verdict on murder had already come in. And so like that was off the table. The jury had already we're past that point, it seems. I want to go to the closing arguments today before we get to just that moment. I'm sure it's another major emotional moment when Karmelo Anthony is found guilty of murder. What did you make of the defense today? And when it came to the closing arguments before the guilty verdict today, what were kind of the bullet points of what they said in their final opportunity to address the jury?
So they started off, Chris, by pretty much saying, we hadn't heard this before earlier in the trial, saying Austin Metcalf had no authority to remove Karmelo Anthony from that tent. He had all the right to say, get off from under the tent, but he had no authority to physically move him, to make him move. There, he should have went and got a coach or something. That's what they were pretty much saying. So that was the initial highlight, and that was the whole narrative pretty much of their closing argument. And then, Chris, the biggest highlight to me towards the end, as they're trying to make headway with their closing argument here, was that we've heard about the hand in the bag situation with the phrasing, touch me and see what happens. What the defense attorney phrased or demonstrated, he was saying that he's giving the jury a scenario. And he was saying that if I have my hand in my bag and I tell you I have something in it, something potentially harmful, and I'm telling you to not touch me, you call my bluff saying I don't have anything in it, and then you touch me, and then I pull the thing out and use it, that was a warning and not provocation. So that's how they pretty much ended their closing argument, to which the prosecution got up to their rebuttal and said, do not let the defense turn a threat into a warning. That was the opening line. Do not let them turn a threat into a warning. And then they walked through these 4 distinct reasons as to why this wasn't a self-defense case. One of them was provoking. You can't claim self-defense by provoking a situation, and then when the opposing party retaliates and then you do something bad, you can't claim self-defense with that. They talked about the immediate necessity for the use of force. How immediate was it? Were you really fearing for your life? Was there an opportunity to run? They talked about force disparity, and the prosecutor said that you could meet force with force, i.e. a shove with a shove. You can meet deadly force with deadly force, but you cannot meet normal force with lethal force. Pretty much showing their one person had an edge up because they had a weapon while the other was unarmed. So they walked through a whole bunch of reasons as to why this was self-defense, Chris, and implored that, that the jury find Karmelo Anthony guilty, which now we know ultimately they did.
Yeah, and there were some strong words from the prosecution in those closing.
All right. There we go, fellas.
I got a question. And like from everything I'm hearing, there's been like even like debates on the original provocateur or who started it. Because you'll hear back and forth. They say he started it. They say they started it. I think that's a very key point. But it sounds like there's just been a bad like kind of defense lawyer. They said that they didn't even argue the sudden passion until after the verdict came. So they were trying to do that in the sentencing phase. Like that sounds like a clear misstep on the defense. And I think that's something that's also like it got to be highlighted as well. That like.
Well, I don't think you can argue sudden passion and self-defense, can you? Like, can you argue both?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know, but even sudden passion. Well, I guess I can understand why it couldn't be, but like, I also feel like we gotta be. I think good lawyers and good defense is something that gotta be studied and something that's important in like law because. If the defense makes a mistake, we can't just say it's like racist or whatever. I feel like he should have a chance to get an appeal, and we should go and get better representation. And I feel like that's the best way to handle it because it seemed like a pretty easy case to like. Whatever they charged him with was super biased. They all kind of was in cahoots. They all kind of knew each other. They all were based. It's clear bias. It's clear conflict of interest, and I feel like the system is built to. Get an appeal and better representation can get a better outcome.
Yeah, I don't disagree that everything is or the system's biased. But I do think there is a huge detachment from like how people perceive rules and laws and what the laws actually say. And I think I mean, I don't know if I see it similar. There's a TikTok content creator where all they do is go around and challenge First Amendment rights. So they're like be walking around with their camera just in public places, filming and stuff. And people will literally get mad about them filming and be like, you can't do that. That's illegal, and call the cops and try to get them arrested and removed. But legally, they have the right to film standing on the public sidewalk, and you're in public. There's nothing you can do to stop them from filming you.
The Chud the building.
And so I think, well, Chud is a little bit different because he actually goes and he what he's doing is not really audit thing. He's just a troll.
Well, he said that
he's not exercising his First Amendment right. He's
that's what he used it based off of. Like he said that. And his supporters say that he was exercising his First Amendment right, as well as I guess his Second Amendment.
No, I agree that that's what his supporters say, but
that's what he was saying.
That's a farce. But it's a.
But I don't think that wasn't reality though.
But it's a farce. I'm saying these people are actually like.
I think there's the guy that you're talking about, like they're playing the same game of provocation to the public. Inside a manner in which they're going out to get a reaction. But like if you're filming people to get the reaction, and then the reaction escalates to XYZ, is going to escalate, and then they'll claim whatever victimhood based off of that.
I can't compare the two because these guys aren't going out talking to people, saying derogatory things to people. They're not trolling people. They're literally They're just on a public place with their cameras, just filming different, like looking like they're getting B-roll footage, if you will. Just cameraman out in public. That's all they're doing, walking around, mind their business. They're not talking to people. They're not going out of their way to interact.
What is the overall purpose of what they're doing?
The purpose of what they're doing is to do what they call audit on their First Amendment rights.
Right. So in essence, they're waiting for a reaction. So then police can get called out and they can say that I have a First Amendment right to record. Right?
And what I'm saying is that's way different than what Chud the Builder does. Way
it's the
different.
Same exact concept.
He's calling people chimps and using the N-word is not the same up at all.
It's levels to it. It's definite levels.
It's the same concept.
These are like
it's
not even
levels.
apples and oranges, bro. Like
no, but it literally is the exact same concept. So they're both doing a First Amendment.
Like apples.
So
I disagree with. Like he's literally a rage baiter. Like. We're moving. We definitely going on a tangent that has nothing to do with the whole point. But
we are. But the guys you're talking about, they're literally rage baiting too. It's just at a lower
level. That's not rage baiting. I guess that's the difference. Again, you're going to compare somebody literally doing something that they have a legal right to do, not talking to you, not saying nothing to you, versus somebody coming to you, initiating a conversation just to offend you, call you a nigger, and then say you chimping out.
Yeah, they're both doing
you think those are equal audits?
No, I never would make the statement that they're equal audits. Like now you're putting words in my mouth.
So what are they? How are they similar?
They're the same concept because they're both attempting to push the lines and show what the First Amendment allows.
That's where I disagree. There's no pushing of the line if you're just outside minding your business, not talking to people.
One's stepping on it, one's running through it.
Right, it's like they're both looking to get a reaction on camera in essence.
But by that definition, everybody on camera is looking to get a reaction on camera. Like
right now, none of us are in public. That's not true. None of us are in public, infringing on other people's space.
Neither were the people I'm talking about either. That's my point. You
just said that they were in public recording people.
They're not infringing on anyone's space. They're not infringing on anything.
Okay,
they're minding their business. If I'm on the sidewalk and you're on the sidewalk, I'm not infringing on your space because I'm on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I think I'm talking about the recording of them and then people getting upset at them pointing the camera and, quote unquote, infringing on their autonomy as a person to just freely be walking around. And it's doing an audit to what they believe free speech is.
It's not even what they believe, though, Q. They're going by legal codes. This nigga Chet the Builder is a troll.
I think that Chud was attempting to go by legal codes that he presumed as well.
But you do understand there's a difference between real laws and what Chud was doing. Like I don't even know how we comparing.
The thing is, I'm not agreeing with Chud, but they're both rage baiting and doing what they call First Amendment audits.
So if somebody
the concept is the same, but one's at a different degree.
So if somebody is out in public, not breaking any laws, not saying anything racist or derogatory to anyone. They're rage baiting.
But now you're loading it because at first Chud was not breaking any laws.
But was he being derogatory? Was he being derogatory? Was he saying racist things?
But being derogatory isn't breaking a law.
But when you say racist things, it does start to teeter the line of things being hate crime related. Like this does take a turn here. It's a huge difference.
So all I'm saying is that they both were successful for a while. It sounds like doing First Amendment audits and getting away with it. Chud only got in trouble when he didn't pay a bill and when he shot a guy.
These people have never done anything to anybody upon defending themselves because they're getting assaulted. Like that's literally what people assault them, and they definitely don't shoot niggas. They pepper spray. Like it's way completely different. And that's if they even do.
It's clearly different, but the same exact concept. I don't know how I can explain it more simpler. Where they're both doing what you call audits, and they're both like.
You're saying they're both rage baiting. Both like, and what Chud is doing is not an audit.
So if again we can I disagree with like the premise of what he's doing, but he's doing the exact same concept. And those guys, they're recording to get reactions to clearly put it on YouTube. They're looking for reactions. If they didn't ever get a reaction, their YouTube channel would do nothing. They're just literally recording people. If they don't get reactions, then there's no content.
We disagree.
Gotcha. All right, back to the topic at hand, fellas. Yeah, I guess this would be a good time to go to some of G's clips that he has found from our previous conversation. Let's see what happens.
It's sad and unfortunate that a young man, senior in high school, is going through something like this. Like it's just like very unfortunate. And yeah, like I understand like a lot of the outrage. It reminds me of OJ. Like you know, like when the OJ case was going on, it was very like black versus white. At that time period, it was like black people were on one side, white people were on the other. And I feel like this is one of those cases because of all those things that have taken place recently with Rittenhouse, Zimmerman, these stand your ground situations where it didn't go in the favor of the black person that was murdered. Because I think, in my opinion, all those cases, those gentlemen got away with murder. I feel like it's one of those things where now it's like it's black people saying it's our turn to get away with one. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Like is my initial reaction. It's like it's very racially divided, and black people really just want to see my man get, you know, his. Yo, let me finish my original thought before we went on the tangent.
Oh, okay.
As it relates to the point I was making about the folks who go out and do the audits that I'm talking about, not Chud the Builder, has nothing to do with this. The audits, people who just go out, mind their business, and then they get challenged on if they're doing something illegal or not. And then that person who challenges them calls the cops, and then the cops end up coming and nothing happens. And then they got egg on their face. I think there's a huge disconnect oftentimes between what people think are legal rights and what are actually legal rights by law and definition. And I think when it comes to this idea of stand your ground and self-defense, because it's so biased, because it never works in our favor, I think especially black males have to do real risk assessments before making these types of decisions, because the idea that you're going to get, let alone a fair shake in court, is like just not a realistic outcome. More than likely, it's like, you know, that the chips are stacked against you. You know that how this is going to be perceived, particularly when you're talking about doing something like this to a white boy of all people. So I feel like that disconnect, like, I think, you know, we've talked about this on previous episodes, but we can't just be telling people, like, if somebody hits you, hit them back. Like, there's just, I think we got to kind of reframe to protect our generation, to ensure that they're not, you know, putting themselves in these situations thinking that they're defending themselves, when in reality, we could be setting them up for things like this to happen as a you know, unfortunate consequence. So that was where I was trying to get to with the point earlier, of that people don't really know what's law versus what they think is law.
Right. Agreed. Yeah, I'll push play. Hey, Black.
I think if Karmelo stabbed another black boy, this wouldn't even be news right now. So the race factor is definitely a big deal, you know, only because a white kid died. You know, we die, we get shot all the time. And I think that's where you see the lack of empathy from black people, because we always get the short end of the stick when it comes to cases similar like this in recent years. For hundreds of years, we always get the short end of the stick when it comes to justice being served. As more info has come out, I'm starting to lean towards, you know, the self-defense notion. They wasn't on school grounds, so, you know, you can scratch that part out. There seem to be like prior instances with these white boys bullying him, or, you know, trying him, as they would say in our community. I've seen testimonials from other students, from other people that know them, that said that, you know, they approached him, that they jumped him, and he told them, like, this is what's gonna happen if y'all put your hands on me. As far as having a knife on him, I don't think that is that crazy. I mean, I know I carried a pocket knife ever since, like, I got one in middle school, and it wasn't for like no dastardly reason. Just like, I'm a young boy, you think it's cool. You always just, you know, you got a little pocket knife, a little Swiss Army knife, a little something.
All right, and then I guess we go here.
The prosecutor, one, assault with a deadly weapon. I was like, one, I'm never sitting on a jury again, because I really hated that experience. And then two, it really made me think about, like, damn, okay, if I'm in a situation Like, how far can I go if I have to defend myself? What compromises this case for the young man is saying, hit me and see what happens. Those words are the key to this whole thing to me. If this is true that he, quote unquote, said something along the lines of, do this and see what happens, that to me makes this a very tough thing to argue for self-defense. That's just my opinion.
You wouldn't look at that as a literal warning to not do something,
right?
It seems like you're
and that's not how. I don't think from my understanding, sitting in that courtroom, what you're saying isn't how self-defense is like interpreted in the law.
So just giving like one of the scenarios that I've heard, like the guy grabs him and he gets him off of me, say, touch me or touch me again and see what happens. Like, again, you touch me, fair warning, and then you touch me / and or punch me or grab me. It's been a bunch of different versions of what they said the next thing would be, where you gave a warning and then a person aggressed you. That I guess I'm trying
to there's self-defense and then there's going above and beyond. So like let's say we out and about right now. I walk up to a nigga and just smack the shit out of him. Wow.
Okay.
If he shoots me because I smacked the shit out of him, he can claim self-defense.
He'll probably get off on it.
I don't know. This
got off on that in like Walmart.
This is why the shit is so crazy.
Baby would have got off if it was a white person though.
This is why.
And I guess let's get to the last one. We got.
I think one thing that's important. Texas is a stand your ground state, and so that means there's no requirement to escalate or to like de-escalate or try to retreat before you use force. You're allowed by law the moment you perceive a threat, and it doesn't have to be a threat to kill. It could just be seriously bodily harm. You're allowed to react and protect yourself.
I think that's what you're saying, though, Johnny. Though
stand your ground part when he says hit me again and see what happens. He doesn't have to retreat. He's perceiving a threat and he's allowed to hold his ground. I think stand your ground is very important in a case like that, because in other states you may be required to try to de-escalate first. In Texas, you don't have to. If somebody does something to you, you're allowed to respond immediately with whatever force you deem is necessary to stop the threat.
Yeah, you are right, but there is a line where if you respond with quote unquote more force than what was provided to you, you could go to jail for something. Now, you're gonna live and die by the jury, but what I'm saying is that it's not as clear cut as what you're saying, because if it were, this wouldn't even be a case. You see what I'm saying? Like,
all right, fellas, thoughts? Do you stand by your original takes?
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong. I think like clearly, you can't do what I said. He didn't retreat. He didn't do nothing, and they sent his ass. They burnt him. So I guess you do gotta. And I guess the nuance of what G was saying, actually, I guess you do have to match it with a certain level. I guess you can't like somebody smack you, killing them like you know.
Now that is similar to Chud the Builder, who trying to use self-defense because a nigga punched him in the head and he just got his gun out and started shooting. Like, you can't just start shooting because you got mollywopped upside the head. It just doesn't work that way.
I mean, clearly, because that's just what we saw. That's one of the things they argued there. Hey, good job, G.
Now, what would be sick though is if they do get if somehow Chud the Builder isn't found guilty of his crimes and he somehow gets self-defense or something like that, that's gonna be crazy.
But I think that a better example would be if we look at Cyrus in South Carolina, and this is with like the parallel between the two crimes, where one might say black version of how to get away with murder, where the circumstances of the South Carolina one is a kid doesn't steal anything, leaves the store, is chased by I guess a father and his son runs 150 yards, falls, and gets shot in the back. And they were able to claim self-defense, even though he never shot, pushed, touched, or did anything towards him. In comparison to this, where somebody, actually grabbed him, touched him, he gave in what we might deem fair or unfair. This is like the whole premise of the case, in which one might say that the defense didn't argue well, is the idea of provocation versus threats. But
I
yeah,
think
like
there's a
I
big
think that
difference between, because
okay.
with
So
the
what was the
weapon,
difference between what the Asian man did and
the victim had
Asian
a
man got
weapon.
away with murder for sure.
I mean, but I'm saying, but what the prosecution arguing, where the defense got it wrong there, was the kid had a weapon, and so that's the excuse they used. That's what the defense used to get off, was the weapon. This time the defense is arguing the person that has the weapon,
yeah, but
and
he
it's two
never.
different. It's two different cases. If you're arguing for the person that the victim has a weapon, and then the victim doesn't have a weapon. I
But
think
Johnny,
those are
correct
two.
me if I'm incorrect. If you get shot in the back, if you're running away, even if you're like you just robbed the house, that person can go to jail for murder, correct?
Yes. Yes, but
So
like,
if he got shot in the back, even if he had a weapon, whatever, clearly he wasn't brandishing it at them, and he was going away if he was shot in the back.
but
What's
that's
the
what they
difference?
argued. They argued that he perceived the weapon being picked up and aimed at him. That was the argument.
No, I understand that that's the argument. That
That was
just
the
doesn't go with
argument.
the yeah.
And so,
That
like,
doesn't
and that's
go. So
totally
that doesn't
different
go with.
than
So
an
how?
armed kid.
No, wait.
I understand, but if he got shot in the back, how are you brandishing the weapon at him?
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not
I
saying that
understand
they
what the
did it,
argument is. I'm
but
saying the
that's
facts
the
of the
argument
case.
that they use. Is a different argument.
Yeah, but the argument against it is the fact that he was running away. Like the same way we can give like the pro and the con argument for the Karmelo and the Karmelo versus the Cyrus. It's the same difference where the facts of the case shows that he's running away. So if you can present the argument, that doesn't mean that the argument is true. Again, in my opinion, given the facts of the case per se.
I think the child case, I think what got him off was some argument around when they were running, he wasn't running after, he argued he wasn't running after the kid, he was chasing after his son who was chasing after the kid. I think that's one thing they tried to argue, or that they argue. The second thing that they argued in addition is that while chasing his kid, they're claiming that homeboy Cyrus he saw him point a gun at his son, and that's what caused him to shoot. Now, I'm not saying I agree with that at all, but what they ended up,
I think it's
going
it's
in
more
court,
so
like that's why they found him not guilty, even though the boy got shot in the back. Like, I don't
and from my
understand.
understanding, I think he said that his son, or we might have heard different versions of it. I heard a version where they said that the son said that he has a gun, and then his dad shot him. Where I guess inside him falling, he seen the fact that he had a gun, and then his dad, fearing for his son's life, shot the kid.
I think that's a totally different argument than somebody like.
No one said that they're the same argument. I think that we're saying, what I'm saying is the fact that someone running away that didn't do anything gets shot and they get off with self-defense in comparison to
that's crazy.
A kid that is just sitting there and someone comes up and a quote unquote assaults them first, and then he gives them. To me, I look at it as a warning. I guess that again, that's the provocation versus threat. But he comes up and tells him, "Hey, do that shit again. I got something for you," or do that whatever. Like the framing was that what he said, but he was sitting minding his business. He didn't provoke the initial touch, and then he told him, "Hey, chill. I'm going to defend myself with whatever's in my bag." And then he does said thing. To me, that seems like that sets itself up a lot closer for self-defense in comparison. And this is where, I guess a lot of the the questions start to fall, where you do a comparative analysis of the two cases and scenarios and situations and provocation, threat, and escalation. And it asks the question in which I'll ask y'all: does America decide innocence differently depending on race, class, and optics?
Absolutely. I mean, we know the answer to that. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I think W.E.B. Du Bois said one of his last quotes in his 90s, as long as blacks in America, they'll never win. And that's after, giving his life to fighting for us and realizing that it's not about us, it's about this system that we up against. And it's just, we still looking at the justice system as there to support us. And it never was built to support us. And we win here and there. You come across good people and good cities and real cases, but if you in these southern towns and you got these dynamics and you got social media narratives, they gonna win. They're gonna get their get back. You kill this little white boy, look like young Superman Clark
I
Kent.
want to know, how did they get like all them old white folk on the panel? I mean, on the jury.
Yeah. Money.
Talk about stacking
Somebody's
the deck.
like,
Well, no, they had some black, like, they had people that came. They do jury selection, and so like they picked all the they handpicked. They found something wrong with all the.
No jury should
Of course,
ever be
Johnny.
all one
That's the
color.
point that we saying. Yeah, they chose
where
the
the
ones
bias?
they
Ain't you
needed.
supposed to have like bias and stuff? Like, it should be a mixture.
What happened to the GoFundMe money then? Like, did he not get? Like, I thought that
we don't
the
know
who's
that's
who of black
legitimacy.
advocacy was behind this case and was going to get him the best lawyers, et cetera, et cetera. Like, did that just not happen?
It was a hot song, not an
first
album.
off, the mom came out a long time ago talking about the money. Like, we don't know where this money at y'all talking about. And then as far
they
as
wasn't directly receiving it.
Yeah, it was like somebody created this story. Like, they got this
Oh
money.
yeah.
They
When it
bought
was
this
like
car.
they in Suburban, they got new
Yeah,
cars,
it
moved
was
to
like,
the.
we don't got none of this. So we also don't know what's true and what's not. People create these stories like, oh, they getting this money. He had his GoFundMe. For all we know, somebody else created a GoFundMe under his name. Like, but we don't have no way to validate the shit. The nigga ain't had no good representation, that's for sure. That's what we do know. So, and I just don't think nobody would get that amount of money and piss it off thinking he about to just get off. Like, nah, they don't seem like they that dumb. So I think that's misinformation. I don't think they have no true resources to get no good legal representation. And I think the other side did. And they know the judge, they know the DA, everybody cool out there. And this is open shut for them. Like, they don't really care about the nuances. That white boy died. That's all they hear. You got Karmelo. Yeah, nah.
G, I ask you the same question. Does America decide innocence differently depending on race, class, or optics?
Definitely race, then class, for sure. Optics, it's kind of like optics play into race and class low key, but definitely, like, from a race perspective, in a state like Texas, in a rural area where you don't have a significant population of black people, not only, in a state like Texas, in certain areas is like black not like the second, you're often the third on the list behind Spanish and then white. So like, for black people in these areas where you just know you're not going to be surrounded by similar people culturally, and these folks are going to be discriminating against you. That's what I'm saying, man. It's just that's why I say we got to be encouraging our young men, especially, to take better risk assessments on, like, is this what you trying to risk it on? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's not a point in time where you definitely got to defend yourself, but like we said, there's levels, like if homie's punching you, like, do you have to stab him in the chest? Like, is that your first instinct? Like, are there other alternatives? And I think it's unfortunate that whatever he was going through on that day led to him. Like, some things do happen by happenstance. He just happened to have a knife on him, and it was like, not today, and boom, and everything happens in an instance. But it's just like, we got to encourage our young boys to just think a little bit more about, like, is this the thing you trying to risk potentially your future over, because it could turn ugly real quick unintentionally.
Gotcha. Johnny, same question. Do you need me to repeat it?
It was race, class, and optics.
Does America decide innocence differently based on race, class, or optics?
For sure. Yeah.
And optics, yeah.
Yeah, and optics. Yeah, no, I think that's something that can be true. But I think, yeah, race and class are super synonymous. They kind of, it's almost hard to like move them out, from each other, because we've argued with just a few years ago or so, the Diddy trial, where in the Diddy documentary, where his class allowed him to, move and do a lot of different things because he had the good lawyers. And so even with race, there's levels when it comes to class. And I think, good representation, understanding the law, understanding the game is something that's important too. And and clearly, because it can change state by state. What you think might be right in this state could not be, right in that state. So I think where you're at has a lot to do with it as well too. But for sure, it's race and class. Where you're at has a lot to do with what you can and can't do also.
Gotcha. So I guess I'll run down a couple questions and we'll see if anything sticks. If not, we'll move into just the bigger conversation. But are black defendants judged morally before legally? Victims or defendants, are they judged morally before legally? What is your thoughts? We use these both of these two cases as examples.
You said our athletes?
No, black. I said defendants or victims. Are they judged morally before legally?
Yeah, I mean, there's already a preconceived hate for us from a lot of people already, so they be looking for reasons to justify and vindicate. Oh, see, this is why we hate them. See, this is why what we say about them. Like, these are the thugs. These are the animals, the monkeys, or whatever they want to call us. So they thrive off reasons to fuel that feeling of hating us. And so they're like, see. But we just saw the opposite with them with the Charlie Kirk situation, and they want everybody to have empathy and stuff. But we always go through this, man, and I see them laughing in the comments, and no matter how you feel, like to be laughing, to be happy of any of this outcome is just weird. Like, a lot of people like just real weird about this racist shit, and I don't get it. But they go always do that as long as we deemed as the powerless or whatever in this country, we don't have no right to raise up against them. And that's what it always comes down to. Like, it's not about him defending himself, it's about him even daring to raise back against them. He should have submitted. He should have got from under the tent. He should have never been there. That's what a lot of them crackers think. They never are even asking, well, why was he bullying them? Why are they surrounding him? He couldn't walk away. Like, it's, oh, why he got a knife and why he stabbed him and he had to do all of that. And you know, so we know what this is. We know we're going to get judged harshly, and because of that, because we know that, you got to raise your kids properly in these situations. Like, they have to know that, yeah, don't let nobody bitch you and hold you, but as a black man in predominantly white area or school, you got to react differently. That's just how it is. Either you deal with that or we get you up out of here, but you can't go in on them. Like I said, if there was black kids, we wouldn't even be talking about this case, man. Like, at all.
Shout out to A Black from a year ago. Are defendants and victims judged morally before legally? Johnny.
Uh, for sure. Yeah, I think a lot of time it's the news. You see it. There's always a what's it called? They put a perception out there, even in this one. But I think like people tried to fight it. Like I think there was a two sides of a coin with the Carmelo. I think there's a lot of people that like had it back. You know, I don't think people looked at him like he was such a bad guy, but I think ultimately, I think they did put people in there that weren't his peers. I think that's a very important thing. And then of course, if you're just looking at somebody, it's not your peer. Yeah, you're gonna judge the person, the character. I think that's obvious. A lot of times, for sure, that happens.
G, same question.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just how it is, man. They're going to try to tear down your character. They're going to try to paint you as a character that you might not even be. To try and, like you said, like make it a moral case before they even get to the legal stuff. Mm-hmm. So, you saw it in both cases. Like A Black said, like, a lot of young boys carry pocket knives or knives in general. I'm not saying that it's say right or wrong, but I do know that's not like a abnormal thing for a young man to have a pocket knife in his book bag in the high school age. That's not like a shocking thing, right? And so to try to paint it as like, well, why does he have a knife? Like we said, any young man could have a knife in his bag at that age.
And
for various
not to interrupt G, and it's like we get the knife not thinking like, oh, I'm about to go out and kill somebody. It's always defense first. Like nobody
but,
will be able
but like you said, it could not even be defense. Like, just on some shit that like, oh, I got to track meet, maybe I got to do something with some rope, or maybe this nigga does carpentry shit on the side or something. I don't know. Like it could
It's
be
a lot
so
of
many
things
reasons.
that the defense could have painted.
It could be so many reasons why a young man has a knife in his bag, but immediately they try to take that fact and spin it into like, oh man, he's got ill intentions and et cetera, et cetera. And then with the young man who was definitely murdered in South Carolina, before I even really could hear any details about the case, all I saw was like the story of his quote unquote background, and he got on social media with the gun he was found with and all this other stuff. Like that was some of the first stuff I saw. And so,
what you don't hear, G, the fact that Asian man shot
multiple black folks. Yeah, exactly. You don't
and
hear
they
that
actually
at all.
kept that outside of the trial, but they allowed the pictures of the kid with the gun. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But no, it just speaks to the point. Man, I can't wait to see Disclosure Day. It speaks to the point that these folks, man, like that's like, it's one of those things where it's like, what do you really do? It's like, do you really want to try to quote unquote fight the system and make it fair, or is it like, is that even like a waste? Is that a good use of time? Is it like, is that even a realistic outcome that we should strive for, or are we better off just making sure we stay, on our P's and Q's, if you will, and make sure we play the system accordingly versus try to like think that the system's going to work for us in these situations? Because every single time something comes up, especially if it's something where you got to get active versus a white person, to this whole point is like, when there's a race dynamic, even now if they're not white, if it's you versus a non-black person as a black person, the reality is that court is probably going to see you as the aggressor, as the angry person, as the one who's more capable of being violent. And there's a stronger likelihood that you're going to be facing an uphill battle if you're in court against somebody that's not looking like you as a black person. So it's just a sad thing all around. They're definitely going to do it like that.
Gotcha. So I'll use this question to start transitioning this. Does the Karmelo and Cyrus cases prove America treats people differently based on race? Is it a yes across the board?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it would think Yeah.
I think especially when we involved, like I say, we can kill each other and it's cool. That's what we do. But when you kill one of them, it's national news every time. It's a big deal, and it's because they are always trying to imprint the conditioning of don't ever think about killing us. We don't care what y'all do with each other. He
Mhm.
might have got off if he was getting jumped by some black kid, but they don't care. It's about you don't kill us at all. You better stab at the feet, the arms, the legs, but nothing vital. You know, because once you kill them, and then that white girl that got killed on that train, and OJ, and they got so many instances where they continually trying to remind us who's boss. And this is just another one of the instances. Like they lost one, but they gonna make sure they put him away, and now we just hope he survive in jail. Pretty much. See, young, he
Gotcha.
was 17, 18.
Gotcha. Anybody else have a commentary? If not, I'm gonna okay. So blanket yeses though, right? All right. So as we segue our way into the main conversation, uh, what identity what identity protects Black Americans more in real life? Being Black or being American? Johnny, I'll toss it to you.
Like which protects us?
Yeah, more in real life. Speaking about in America, the homeland of the red, white, and blue. What identity protects Black Americans more in real life? Being Black or being American?
Uh, I mean, neither one of them apparently. Being black ain't help either one of them. The American system ain't help either one of these guys. So I mean, yeah, I can't say either one of these identities are protecting black people.
So you're saying neither because they don't protect them at all.
Right.
Okay. A Black, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, ain't no protection. I mean, we're not viewed as American by them anyway. Only when we doing something that benefits them, sports, Olympics, anything like that, they claim us as Americans. But in everyday domestic U.S. life, they don't truly see us as American. Like the fact that we even call African American and they not European American shows you like they always are trying to signify a difference. So when it comes to the court system, like it's the same people that looked at you as 1/4 of a human being at one point. A lot of them still see you as that. So that's why it's just we can't even have the audacity, the gall to rise up, to fight back, to kill them. And every time we have in history, they come back 10 times harder, 100 times harder in other ways. So it's just another one of them cases, man. And you got to raise your kids to navigate the world safely to still survive out here. And it's an
Gotcha.
accident. I'm sure it's an accident, but like some type of video or something is gonna come out. I don't think this is over. I think there'll be an appeal, but I think some type of video is gonna come out that's gonna maybe change the situation.
Some public opinion. So with that said, in the land of the free, what identity actually protects Black Americans more in real life? Being Black or being American? We'll put it simple as that. I'll repeat it again. In the land of the free, what identity actually protects Black Americans more in real life? Being Black or being American?
Is that what you just asked?
The
Yeah, I'm
same
just repeating
question.
it again. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So if we take this outside of just the court system, I think that if you just fight on some black shit, they're gonna do their best to not give you anything. But when it be on some like when blacks do get something like them stimmies, it's because America got the stimmies. So it's like if the reality of black folks actually getting a benefit is gonna come systematically when America quote unquote gets a benefit. before you get one just for being black, in my opinion, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's another angle.
Fair
To
point.
But the court system, you cook. Don't matter.
In the court system,
ain't no such thing as American in the court. You just a black man.
No such thing as halfway.
Okay, so now let's flip the word protects and put pride. What identity do you have pride in? More pride in real life, being black or being American? This is the nationalism versus identity conversation.
I personally definitely take more pride in being black than, but I will say, for me, the thing about being black is the fact that I'm a black American. So, you know, it's kind of tough to say, because
and again, this is inside like the microcosm of America. So this is in the land of the free, not looking at comparing ourselves to other blacks anywhere else, but being black in America. And
I'm more proud to be black for sure.
A Black, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely be more proud to be black. I mean, American, I feel like don't really got a good rep. At least especially for us to claim a lot to be proud of. I mean, that's stuff we can, but overall, I would prefer just being black.
Okay. Johnny?
Yeah, I'd probably say be black. I prefer being black. I don't know what's so funny.
Born in the USA.
But I will say though, it is because I am a black American, and I think like you can live, but and I think like
180 Johnny. Shout out to 180 Johnny. Just turn the other way.
I mean, you let me explain it, because like I am proud to be black, but I think it's like a very close second to being a black American. I think there's, you know,
so you're no longer American first. You're now black first.
I am American first. I was born in America. Like my country of origin is America. So
you choose your American identity over your black identity first, right?
That's what I am, and like I said, I do feel like
yes, right. So the answer is yes.
Yes, but can I finish? What I have more pride in is like being a black American, and like I have a family that did a lot in this country despite the racism.
Johnny walking the line, man. You walking the line, Johnny. Are you black or American? Which one is it, man? Are you keep saying both in tandem where you got to pick one, man? Which one is it?
I ain't gotta pick one. I can say,
oh my God. But I thought that was the framing of the question. That's the whole point of the question.
But like, I'm proud to be black. I'm more proud to be black. I'll say that, and especially if we're gonna only keep it in the microcosm of America and not globally. If you're not gonna let it, be in a global context in America, I'm happy I'm in America, but I'm proud to be a black person in America for sure.
Got you.
I'm happy I'm in America. I'm very happy I'm in America, but I'm proud to be black in America.
Okay. G, what do you identify first as? Of course, I think we all identify as black and as American. What do you identify first as?
Black.
Okay. A Black, same question to you. I'm sure you identify as black and you identify as American. What would you say that you identify first as?
Black.
Gotcha.
I don't
Johnny,
think of American unless I'm like filling out some paperwork or something. That's all they got. And maybe every now and then overseas, it can be beneficial. But other than that, black, yeah.
Gotcha. Johnny, which one do you identify first as? Do you identify as black first or American first?
Yeah, American, like, because that's what I am. Like, I'm a black man for sure, but like we talking about identity. When I wake up, like I'm a black man, but
you wake up and do like this.
I don't wake up and do like that, but I don't think most Americans do that. I don't think that's like that. That's not like a super thing of being American, but like I understand, like I'm an American, and like over the course of my lifetime, like I've identified as a Christian probably more than both of those. So I mean, we talking identity. Like race hadn't been like on the highest totem pole for me. Like being an American, my national anthem, what I am, I've always identified with way more than like my skin color. And so like we ranking them like my
So we
nationality.
reducing black to just a skin color.
I'm saying I don't identify. I and myself feel like way more than just with my skin color.
But when we say black, are we talking culture, or are we just talking skin color?
Black Americans, what people would call FBA. That's what we're specifically talking about. So the culture, the language, the inventions, the just all the things that we have done as a people.
I mean, I feel like Johnny. I said I answered the question already.
Oh yeah,
like I'm gonna identify more as American probably. Like and then like I am a black person. I can.
So for you, you said that growing up, black was like third. So you said religion, then American, then black.
From South Carolina, like I was way more.
Oh, damn, feels like 4.
Like I mean,
I ain't going crazy. I ain't going.
I'm not going crazy, but like I mean,
so you rep South Carolina before you rep being black.
I mean, if I'm being honest, like the way I was raised to not like let my skin color define me. I was raised to be successful despite it. Like my dad grew up in Horry County, South Carolina. He saw the KKK. He saw my grandfather go guns up to the KKK and protect stuff and walk away. He didn't raise me just to be a black person. He raised me to be so much more than that. And he fought in the military. He was proud to be a black man in this country, and he fought to make it a better place. And he was proud of that. So I was proud of that. And you talking about my personal identity? Hey, I'm a black American. I'm proud of that. I've seen it. They put an American flag on my dad's casket. How can I not identify with that personally? It's like, but like, I get it. But like, it's a personal thing. Like, my dad taught me that we're lucky to be in America. Sure, there's some uphill battles, but it ain't nothing we can't overcome. And we will.
Gotcha. Okay. And so you said it was religion, then American, then South Carolina, then black.
I mean, I was raised to be defined despite my skin color.
Okay.
Like I was raised to be a successful person, a good person. All of that outside of like, my skin color.
Got you. Any commentary before I move on to the next question? All right. Is black first a survival mindset or divisive ideology? What is your thoughts? Does America historically reward assimilation over black identity?
I think it gotta be family first. Cause I mean, black is an identifier for us in some cases, but I think we got to work on building family before we just go like black first and everything. Cause everything black don't be good for us at all the time. So I think first kind of rebuilding the strong family structures, normalizing that, then unifying all the families under the black flag again. But right now, just trying to be all black first, like I say, everybody don't be having the tribe mindset and really be for us out here.
G?
Yeah.
You want me to ask it again, or you still kind of?
You can ask it again.
Okay. Is black first a survival mindset or divisive ideology?
I definitely don't think it's a divisive ideology. And I think it does derive from survival. So, if I gotta lean towards one of the two, I think that is what has, that blackness, or however we framing it, like, is what made our people able to survive such crazy times. It's like, we just built different, and that's just the thing that kind of brought everybody together under a crazy time. And so, the ancestors might be helping the Knicks right now. We'll see what happens. But aside from that, man,
It got a little close.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, I do think that like that identity is something that derives from strength, being able to survive and overcome and thrive despite the conditions. So, you know, if it is something along those lines of like embracing that culture is a way to like give me the confidence to put forth what I need to do to do, you know, to provide for family and whatnot. So yeah, I fuck with the survival side of it.
Gotcha. Johnny?
Black first. Oh, ask the question again.
Is black first a survival mindset or divisive ideology?
Oh no, it's not divisive. It shouldn't be. Like I mean, hey, Black said, I think like the family is the most important. Black families. Like I said, when we focus on the family, like we to be straight. Like if you break it down to even like the molecular level, the best thing we can do for Black people is focus on strong Black families and pass it down that wealth. And so that's an individual, you know, thing that we all got to do, you know, with us, our kids, our partners, you know. At the molecular level, yeah, Black first, but family first. Like A Black said, I think that's a beautiful way to look at it.
Got you. Never mind. All right. So I'll ask the next question. Is there anything? Oh, my bad. That's that. Can you truly be American first, Johnny? I'll go to you first. Can you truly be American first if America historically has treated you secondary? If they use all benefits that are afforded to Black people and they use that as a scapegoat to give it to immigrants, illegals, minority groups, i.e., Caucasian ladies. Yeah, what is your thoughts? If you never get the primary treatment inside the country, can you be primary to identity to that country?
I mean, I guess it just it depends on how you look at it. Like,
how would you look at it?
I feel like I've done like my dad grew up in the racist South Carolina. He was in the military. He was able to like, you know, flip that into.
Would you say that generally speaking, Black people are the most oppressed inside America, more than any other group?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Black Americans.
So you would say that America treats Black people last.
I mean, I would say we're the most oppressed, like on general.
We're the most oppressed. They put us
generalized
last.
basis, yeah, for sure, yeah.
So they put us last. We're the most oppressed, but you would put American first. Could you explain how this wouldn't be like an example of Stockholm syndrome?
I mean, I just explained like how I personally view it. So like you don't gotta agree. I just said like personally. I'm saying like, but like and then I also think it's about like the family. But
so I guess let me get a clarification. So for you, you say personally you put American first, but Black people in general should put Black first.
The family first. Probably like a Black. Like you should make sure your family core is straight.
So should they put Black first in front of so should they put Black first in front of American first? Black people in general?
I don't know. Like
hey, Black people.
I said what I said. I mean, like.
Hey, Black. I'm gonna ask A Black, and then I ask G, and then I ask you again. A Black, should Black people put Black first in front of American first?
I mean, if we truly Americans, isn't it all the same? I mean, if you put in Black first, are you helping Black people? You helping Americans because we Americans, right? And if you putting Americans first, Black people should be benefiting. I think
is that typically how the system works itself out. If we look at, let's say, DEI, affirmative action, any version of reparations that have been handed down, if America,
I think, we haven't got traditional reparations, but we've been able to capitalize on certain parts of the system and certain aspects for good or to our detriment in some cases. But there's been some concessions made for us. I don't know if it's made to like fully progress us, but definitely sustain and survive. And the majority of us not in the streets. You know, you can eat in America. It take a lot. I feel like to be homeless or to be hungry in this country. You know,
So I guess so. Would you say so? I guess in essence, the question is asking assimilation versus identity. So you would say that assimilating to broader American culture and not emphasizing, say, black-owned businesses and shopping black and doing things like that would be more beneficial for black people.
I think in the community sense, for sure. I mean, if you're going to be able to circulate that dollar in like concise community, and these
Which one
businesses
are
are
you saying for sure?
clustered.
To being American first or being black first?
Black first.
Okay. No, keep going. I just wanted to get a clarification. I didn't understand which one.
Yeah, black first.
I'll toss it over there to you.
Yeah, the issue with being America first is that you're already like last on the totem pole. So it's like if you're America first with no sense of like black community, you're just gonna ultimately be left like at the only person at the lunch table in the cafeteria, essentially. And so I think because of that, it's important to make sure you put your people first ultimately. Now, I do agree, like ultimately, like that starts with family before anything else in the community. But for sure, like I think we as a people are better off when we go black first over American first.
Prioritizing lineage.
Shout out to FBA.
All right, so Johnny, I'll re-ask you the question. So would
Lineages
black
with the
people benefit
Knicks.
more being black first or American first?
I mean, I think it's a nuanced thing. I think they're in black first on a local level for sure. You want to have your black-owned businesses and stuff, but I think a lot of time when you're spanning, you'll see a lot of black-owned businesses even back away from the black-owned brand, and they'll just be a business because they want to attract American business.
Holy shit!
And so, like, if you look at a lot of businesses that are black-owned, you won't even know they're black-owned. You'll just look at them as a business because, like, once they get to a certain level, they do a lot of times shed the black-owned label.
So are you saying like eventually
just
black people in America or black people should just operate as if they're Americans and then they could have took the lead with that.
Are you like a second or two ahead? Pause.
Oh, my bad. I'll be quiet. But yeah. So
hard nutted. Oh my god.
Hey yo,
y'all late. Y'all, my joint
okay,
ahead.
y'all got.
Yeah, my shit late.
Shout out to Riley. But yeah, why it's on this little break. And listen, we eventually we're going to take a little time out just to watch the end of this Knick game, and we'll give y'all some live commentary to it. So if y'all are watching it with us, we will be able to do that. But so yeah, Johnny, to what it sounded like with the example that you gave, you're saying that black people in general should like you said, black businesses eventually they just become generalized. You're saying that in general, black people, if they start generalizing themselves as America's going to treat them better, and then we'll just be looked at as Americans. What was your point that you?
I think a lot of time, like when you talking about like in the business sense, like that black first, a lot of time.
But like I brought this out because I heard that, and so I'm trying to understand what is the point that you're making to the question that I asked.
I said there can be a benefit sometimes once you get to a certain level to just focus on the
so you're
American
saying like
first.
So in general, black people should just kind of like focus on assimilation to be an American first.
I think you do. Community has to be your family, and community has to be has set up right. But yes, there is benefit to that for sure.
Okay, all right. So as we are looking at the Knick game, we're talking about is 123 left. The Knicks just took the lead.
Oh, that's I ain't there yet.
I'm looking at 126, 5, 4.
Oh yeah. Be turned.
It's Brunson. Hey, Steve, who the MVP? Steve.
Big
Fuck
body
you talking about,
Brunson.
Steve?
Man, like y'all talking about,
Steve?
man, yo. That shit way behind.
Oh no. Epic collapse,
Steve.
Yeah, this is crazy. So I told you I don't care nothing about these leads, man.
No. Damn. Listen. So as we're at where we're at, I'm gonna throw the call-in link up. So some of our guys in the chat, y'all can give us some commentary as we become locked in on what is America's
this is for the books here.
New York first important game.
Johnny, you might be right. If they get this one, it might be. Hey, if I'm saying, I don't know how you bounce back if you San Antonio after this one. You going to Cancun after this?
It's a dub. Big body Brunson.
You better send that double.
Y'all better not call that.
Man, they got Alvarado out there on the court in crunch time.
Oh no!
Why they not doubling Brunson?
We turned up. Steve, what's going on, my brother?
Yo, what's good?
We give you the right to bill.
It's no way nobody in the first 3 games looking at Brunson's stats was saying
averaging
he's
27 a game. He's on a bad percentage, but he's averaging like 27.
He averaging 27 a game. He got the worst net negative of anybody on the team. Like, and this is his first good game of the season.
It's what he doing in the fourth, man.
Exactly. It's about the clutch time. Clutch time
is when it matters. And that's what he's closing them out.
Yeah, but no.
9
do y'all
points
not
here in the clutch? 3 or 4.
Just let him walk like that. That's crazy. I blame Johnny.
And if you talking about the
Wendy out the game too long,
and if you and when we was in the chat, I said when we was in the chat. I said in the first 2 games, it's no way possible anybody watched the first 2 games and said he was the best player on the team in the first 2 games. Nobody agrees to that. He had a bad game last game, and this is his first good game. And I said if he had a big game in New York, he'll win MVP. That's what I said.
Man, he averaging 27 and he got 36 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, but this is first.
His best game. He's saving them in the fourth. Like that.
Yeah, but you saying he saved. Y'all keep saying he saved. Y'all keep saying he saved him in the fourth. But they're worse when he's on the court through the first 3 games.
But they won 2 of those games. It's like I hear the advanced analytics, but that's when the eye test just overrides what the
but if you
the game.
If you negative
to the winning,
if you negative 10 points when he on the court, that means he's a net negative through the first 3 games.
According to the analytics.
Yeah, I saw Nas on the sideline.
And all I said was through the first 2 games. I gave you this point that he could have 2 good games in New York. Did I not, G?
Yeah. You said if he got some good games.
Yeah, I said it's a toss up.
But you said he's not gonna get it if he shoot under 40%, and I still
he wasn't. If he shot under 40%, he not getting.
Oh, wait, here we go.
If he shot under 40%.
Dang, man, I'm mad. Y'all shit is faster than pause. Than mine.
It's faster than mine too. That's why I left. Y'all was ruining it.
Free throws, man.
Too many spoilers.
It's coming down.
Jeremy.
Hey, Johnny, shut up, Mr. I'm Christian, not black. Shut your ass up, man. I don't know what to make of you, nigga. Some days you want to be Farrakhan Jr. Today you want to be I don't see color. Nigga, when we saying black, we not talking about some surface. We're not talking about some surface level understanding of blackness, man. You being shallow.
No, Johnny said black is fourth.
Look at your hair. Look at your chin. Come on, man. We not just talking about surface level stuff when we talking about black. We talking about something obviously deeper than that. Then
that ain't Johnny life experience.
Josh Hart blew the layup, and he ain't.
But my thing is I am black. Like I get it, but I'm also a lot of other things too.
Johnny, and we get that you. We get that you are.
I'm me.
I don't think nobody not. I don't think you not. People not saying you not a lot of things, but I do find it weird how when we talking about everything, you try to explain away blackness and to reduce blackness, but you want to hype up being Christian. You want to hype up being
I was making
American.
a
You want
point.
to
I was
hype.
making a point that I'm a
You
lot
want
of
to
other
hype.
things besides that
Being
though.
How
South
is
And it's
being a
Carolinian.
never
South
been.
Carolina? How is
It's
being a
never been
South
how I
Carolina?
define
Hold on.
you
How
know
is
like
being? How is being a South Carolinian even in the conversation with being black? You only South Carolinian by the factor of that's where them slave owners decided to take your folks.
and now my
That's
folks
it.
own and now we own a lot of some of this stuff. Like we
Man,
own
I ain't
South
Johnny. I ain't
Carolina.
trying to hear all
Like
that,
and so
man.
like we
Johnny, I
got
ain't
land
trying to.
like but we got
Johnny, I ain't
land
trying to
here.
hear all
A
that,
lot
man.
of people gave it away. Why
That
wouldn't I be proud
next
of the
time you
land here?
talking that Farrakhan talk, I'm gonna tell you to be quiet. Sit
I
down
mean,
somewhere and be
like,
quiet.
but I'm saying, but like, you don't own land nowhere. Old man say, they own land in Oklahoma and stuff. Like, if you own a piece of the pie in America, like, you got to be proud of the soil, the dirt that you was raised on. Like, why
Hey
not?
G, I'm not
Johnny,
entertaining. I'm not entertaining
nephew,
Johnny no more. I'm not entertaining Johnny no more. I'm gonna who I'm gonna
nephew.
say.
I'm
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna just tell you this right here. You can claim whatever you want to claim, but what the world perceive you as is a whole nother thing. You
But
know
that's
what I mean?
them.
You
Like,
can
I get it,
claim what you
and I
claim
totally
as
understand that. I totally understand that I'm
claim
perceived
what the hell
differently.
they do.
Look, I know I'm
You
perceived
but
Hey
differently.
Johnny, we can't hear
listen,
both of y'all talk.
But,
it's a perception that you have. You can have a perception, but it's fine. And you know what? That's your right to live the way you live and believe the way you live. That's part of you being American. That's one thing that is a net positive towards being American. You can perceive to be whatever you want to be, and it's that whatever. But what the world see you as is what they see you as. A transgender could say I'm a woman all they want to, but at the end of the day, they still got a dick. They're a man. So that's all I'm saying. At the end
I
of the
think
day, you still
I'm
gonna be
more
black.
American
And
than
what the
that. But
world
like,
is gonna perceive you as, what the world is gonna perceive you as is black
We out.
first.
We out.
And that's all it is. No
okay,
matter how much money you have, no matter
huh,
what you do or whatever, the
I know
world's
that.
gonna perceive you as being black first. I
I
know,
know
I
that.
know, I know.
I know that. But that don't define how I see me.
Boy, that
That's
nigga
what I'm
Yeah,
fast
but
saying.
as
It's
but
I
fine.
Johnny,
completely
That's
understand that.
part of being American.
I think the issue is
Oh,
not how you define yourself. It's what you're reducing. When people talking about blackness,
I haven't
you
reduced blackness to anything. I haven't said
yes you
nothing
have
bad
because every
about it.
time we brought it up,
I haven't said nothing
hold
negative
on.
about being
Every
like
time
nothing
we brought
negative.
it up, you keep
Johnny,
caveating it with I'm more than the skin color. We not just talking. We not just talking about skin color. I don't
can I
think G and
actually
them is
go
just
back on?
referring simply to
Hold
your.
on. Can
Well,
I
then what are we?
remind Johnny that he said, Johnny, you said Sunday that it's a net
Uh-oh.
negative to be black. You said it's more of a
What?
negative
Johnny
to be
said
black than
what?
it is out of anything you said
We
that
are.
Sunday. You said
Quit just ran
it
down.
kind
Quit
of
just
hurt.
ran
It
down how
hurt
we're
us
the
more
most
to be
oppressed.
black.
We're judged morally. Is it how is it positive? Like we just ran down how all these things were like. It's not.
Damn. So wait, Johnny, you said it's a net negative to be black?
Did we just not talk about like a bunch of negative things that go around being
Hey
black?
man, y'all might
That's
need to
all I'm
Johnny.
saying.
You might need to stay
Oh
silent to the post
wow.
game show, man. For you get
I'm just
excommunicated.
saying.
For we
I'm
had
just saying.
you.
It's okay.
Are
I
we not
fuck
the most
around.
oppressed?
I
I mean,
fuck
like,
around and clip this and send it to Tariq Nasheed. Had you in one of them tether videos, man. How you up here talking crazy, bro?
okay. I mean, look, like this is how I feel. Like, but like, we are the
But
most
hey,
oppressed. Like, we
Johnny,
are the most oppressed. So we not.
I
Are we arguing that?
I got a question though. Do you see how like that's correct? But do you see where I'm coming from when I say we talking about blackness and then your instinct is to say I'm more than a skin color, as if all we talking about is just the as shallow as the skin color? Like you think that's how shallow the conversation is that we referring to blackness as only a skin color? That's what I'm asking.
I don't.
Because
I
that's what
think
you've retorted. That's what your retort instinctively have been every time somebody mentioned blackness tonight on the show.
because
I think they're talking about something deeper.
I think blackness is a multi-layered
This
experience,
is
and I think my
crazy.
blackness and my experience is a lot different than most people's.
Nobody not no. So you do understand blackness as something deeper.
damn.
Oh,
You also said it was a in black.
Damn.
That's what hurt me more than anything. You said we were cursed being black. God,
hey,
damn,
G,
it
want
sound
G
like
back.
white people
G.
fight shit.
G, we gonna have to. G, can you hear me?
the MVP. Damn.
OG,
That hurt my feelings,
OG
Johnny.
didn't put
I
himself
love
in the
you, bro.
conversation after the last
OG
two
the
games.
MVP.
Too much happening right now.
Legendary.
OG didn't put his name in the conversation after the last two games.
That's legendary right there. You are correct. You are correct.
The last two games,
Legendary.
OG didn't had about 30. He
That's
didn't put his
crazy.
name in the conversation with the last two games.
Damn.
1 second left too. Look at who didn't box out?
And he up there.
Damn, he had nobody on him. Free lane. Damn, nobody put a body on him.
Tall ass.
Yeah, OG didn't definitely put his name in the conversation with these last couple games.
What a play, boy. Oh my gosh.
All right,
They
so
gotta
again, right now we got 1 second left. This is the Knicks versus Spurs cast. Until we finish that up, then we'll get back into more intellectual conversations. We are sports fans.
He just snatched the soul out the Spurs. Pause.
We black, but yeah. So
he snatched. Look at him today, deflated like a motherfucker, boy. The Garden going crazy.
Yeah,
that's legendary.
What's the score? I'm at work.
It's 106 to 107. 1 second left.
Legendary.
All right, hold on. Let me stand up to here.
Hey, don't wear no Spurs jersey in New York tonight,
Ain't giving
niggas.
no foul.
They're gonna whip that ass tonight, boy. You better not have on no. You better not even have no Texas teams on in New York tonight, boy. You gotta throw that thing up to the rim. Pause.
Shit, it might be a wrap, man.
You gotta throw that thing up to the rim to Wemby. You got to. Pause.
Yeah, these dudes come back by 30. No Trump in the building. Nas in the building. You know, shit.
Wow.
Talk it.
That's
Talk
it.
that bitch.
Wow. Them niggas, they just won it too, boy. What a comeback, boy.
Well, the Knicks about to get them a chip.
Legend.
Up 3-1.
Yeah, the Knicks getting a chip.
OG
like
going crazy right now too.
Damn.
OG been hooping, man.
OG been hooping, man.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You can't tell a New York
If
Knicks
the Knicks win, Spike Lee gonna run on the court. If the Knicks win, Spike Lee gonna be the first person on the court.
I guess it'll be game 6. Spurs gotta win the next one. And
I think he already on the court.
Damn, this was a giveaway. I can't
Knicks in
believe
5.
that.
It's over, man. You can't play another game after that.
All right, so
the Spurs. You done.
Yeah. This whole over. This whole over. 4-1.
Gonna have to go see the Monks right now. He gonna have to get on a flight and get to the Monks right now on the way back to San Antonio because it's a wrap.
Yeah, we dubbed that on
4-1.
It's 4-1. All right, fellas, to get back to the conversation. I guess Uncle had stopped you from saying something.
Yeah, what I was saying was Johnny said that it was a curse to be black. Now that sounds like some real white folk Bible-istic type shit right there. That hurt my soul when he said that. That hurt my soul. You kind of did push back on it.
We are cursed people, Johnny.
That hurt me. That hurt me, man.
Are we not the most oppressed? Like, I mean, there's a case. Like, I mean, like we just walked back a bunch of fucked up shit that happened to us in America, like, right?
So that makes us like the most like.
I wouldn't say I didn't mean that. I misspoke when I said that. I tried to walk it. I apologize, but like, what I meant was we have the history of being the most oppressed across the globe. Black people everywhere, no matter where you're at, you're probably the most oppressed and the lighter skinned people.
Black people in America are treated worse than black people anywhere else because we are the world's mutts. We've been here so long, and no matter where you go to, if you go to England, a black person from England can say I'm a Nigerian.
They ain't treat like,
no, but I'm saying they can tell you their roots on where they came from. Our roots are so mudded down that no one knows. As far as we know, as far as we can go back is Alabama. That's as far as we can go back. And you can go whatever, and no matter what you go, no matter everybody on here have white ancestors. We have it in us, and it's sad to say, even if we FBA and whatever, it's not nobody, they have mudded us down. No one else accepts us except us. And if we don't have self-love,
nobody
if we don't have self-love,
if we
don't have We don't have self-love for us as being us here in the United States as Black Americans. Nobody else accepts us. No matter who they come from, they might look like us, but they come down here and look down on us. They're not looking down on this, that, whatever. Even though when you go to Nigeria, a person be like, I'm from Igbo. Do you know a person yelling, I'm from Igbo, and they're from Nigeria? Do you know Igbo? That sounds good to us, right? You know, Igbo are the poor niggas in Nigeria. Igbo isn't nothing to be proud of, but they tell us to be proud of it. I'm just saying. Know what I'm doing?
Would you rather be?
No, what it is. What I'm saying is that's what it is. It's what it is.
I didn't say I wasn't proud to be Black American. I wasn't proud to be Black. I'm not like I didn't say
the first part, Johnny.
I didn't say I wanted to be anything else, but to act like it's not like when you walk into places, you may be profiled, you may be discriminated against. Like that's not a thing. Like I do understand that. Like I never say that wasn't a thing that didn't exist. I might have used the wrong word or something. I might have tried to explain the thing in a bad way, but I understand what it is.
First, right?
Because I am part of this thing. I don't want to be any place else. I'd much rather live in America than any place else. My family is here. I will make it here. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this is home.
And no matter how they treat you, that like because you're inside the institution of America, that's why you put that first in identifying in front of being Black and what that means.
I mean, to me, that matters a lot. Like being in the location matters a lot. Like because being in different places in America meant different things at different times too. Where you are matters. Like, but like, I feel like being an American is a very important. Like,
it's more important than being Black first. It's like it's in front of being Black. Steve, just that going to the title topic. So do you consider yourself or identify as being American first or Black first?
Black first.
Black first. Okay.
We were Black before we was American.
B1. Okay.
Like historic, even legalistically from a legal standpoint.
Okay.
We were Black before we was American. Like
no matter where you go in this world, they see you as a Black man first. And when they see you as a Black American, they're going to look down on you. That's why we have to take care of each other. We have to have self-love. FBA, ADOS, or whatever you want to say it, we have to be the ones that take care of each other. Nobody else can take care of us except for us. Nobody else has the love for us except the love that we have for each other. Nobody else, they might look like you, but you had two dogs that sit beside each other. Both of them not the same breed, but if you don't go down into it, you don't know that they just look alike. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not putting it as in dog terms, but I'm just putting it to simplify that just because something looks like something don't mean that's what it is. And we are who we are, and we need to be proud of who we are. No one else going to have pride for us except for us. No one else loves us except for us. All we got is us. That's it.
I agree with that sentiment, and that's
I agree too. I don't know why you say like I don't disagree with that.
But because of that,
I'm not pushing back on that.
But
American
because of that,
Black,
you put America first because of that. Though.
Sure, like yes, like
gotcha.
The thing, I'm all right. I'm great. I'm kind of agree with Johnny. What Johnny is saying, as far as what I can see, is this right here. Johnny is saying that it hurts to your soul sometimes to be Black because we have to go through and endure so much in life.
Yeah.
We endure a lot more than anybody else does, and it hurts because we have to be we the ones that got to teach our kids how to talk to the police. Not that the police should treat them like they treat anybody else. We are the ones that when we go somewhere, no matter even if you have a suit on, they still look at you to say whatever. No matter how much money you have.
Like, I think we all agree that Black people are oppressed the most in America. But then with that, does that lead you to identifying first with the oppressive class or like the oppressive institution?
I can't identify with it because I can identify with it, but I'm not going to say that.
Would you? I guess I'm saying, would you identify with that first before your racial or ethnic identity?
No, I can't do nothing but be Black. That's all I can do. I can't I'm you know what I'm saying, even though I go through and I endure what I go through in everyday world, I love being black. It's something that
Okay.
I'm proud of it, and it's something that no matter what they can take a lot of things away from me, but they can't take that away from me, and they can't take the love that I have for black people and the way that I am. No matter what they do, they that's the one thing they can't take my soul. And that's the only thing that I have is my soul being black, and loving black people is something that I'm always have. And that's just a good thing. But you know what I'm saying? If out of anything, it does hurt. It does hurt to see that you and this white boy, both of y'all are doing the same thing, but they treat you much differently. It hurts. No matter what, we're human beings. We have feelings. But at the same point of us having feelings, we have to understand too that this is just the world we live in, and no matter where you go, without us taking care of each other, what else do we have? We can't sit and say that they gonna sit there and make the world better for us. We got to make the world better for our own selves first, and that's something that we have to do. We need to do, and it's gonna happen. But we have to stand up for each other, with each other. You understand what I'm saying? Then that's it. That
Gotcha.
we got to leave all that. Anything else, America, yes, American love, because this is where we're at. But like I said, no matter where you go in this world, they look at black Americans completely different than they do everybody else. And that's why we are a whole different culture of people. Then no matter where you go to, we are. And that's just the
Gotcha.
truth.
Okay. G, A Black, I'll talk to y'all. We haven't heard y'all in a second. Yeah, just give us your thoughts where we at in the conversation so far.
Well, yeah, I got lost on the question.
Oh, they were just having dialogue back and forth.
No,
It was still around the concept of American versus Black identity, and what are the things that would lean you to one side or the other. Yeah, I think that was kind of the gist of what they were talking about. I could, yeah, we can go into like different prompts, but yeah, just wanted to get an update from what y'all have heard so far, and then we can kind of keep moving.
I mean, I agree with what Uncle was
Yeah,
saying for the most part.
Okay.
yeah,
Oh
they
yeah.
pretty much, I think, echoing the points he was making.
Gotcha. And real quick, Uncle Steve, just your thoughts on the Carmelo and Cyrus case. If there's a juxtaposition, was verdict given out properly? What's your thoughts?
Um, I think the South Carolina one is much more obviously egregious because the claim is that he was stealing, and because he was stealing, you. I mean, you can make an argument that people trying to get their property back or whatever, but it's obvious, like on the video, what they claiming that he's stealing is put back on the shelf. So it's like, what's the point of chasing him at that point? Because if the whole point is that he's stealing and he ran out the door, why would you chase him? And then second, if you also trying to make the case that maybe off screen or off the film that we couldn't see in the store, is if he pulled a gun on you in the store and ran off, why would you chase after somebody who just pulled a gun on you? So
Mhm.
that, that case makes no sense, like at all, how they got off.
Gotcha.
Obviously, in the Carmelo Anthony case, I definitely think at the minimum he was overcharged. 35 years or whatever. If y'all go look up some cases in Texas of similar stuff that happened, bro, some kids then got off with 2.5 years, 2.5 years, who came to school with the intention to kill somebody. you know? So it's just like, it's much more egregious because we do got a lot of similar cases recently in Texas, actually on school campuses, of students getting into altercations, stabbing another one, and nobody ain't got no 35 years. They didn't got 5. They didn't got 2.5. But 35 is kind of crazy. But I think because of the virality of the Carmelo
Hey
Anthony
Johnny, you
case,
gotta mute like your thing. That's why I muted you. We hear nothing but a bunch of like a woman.
I think because of the virality of the Carmelo situation, sometimes those prosecutors and stuff go for, bigger, punishments or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I feel like in the South Carolina case, it goes like this. You have to look at it like if someone breaks into your house, right?
Hold on. Can I say something right quick? Because people keep trying to make this point about going under another team tent, and it's not the point that people think it is. I remember going to any type of multiple school events, track events, and the whole thing about the track event is that's different from a lot of other sports is that you do spend a lot of time with the other teams at the other schools during track events. Like like this narrative of like, oh, people don't go under other people's tents at school events. That's just like false, especially at track events. That's like what they do at track events. You go see your other friends who play on other schools and go sit under their tents and bullshit. We literally got something called a Texas Relays in Texas, and that people who wasn't even on the track team would go to Texas Relays. So it's just like that's not a valid of a thing like that people making it out to be like, oh, they sitting under people's tents at a track event. That's kind of what happened at track events.
But the coach said that those the two twins were they were officially that was part of their team duties to make sure no one else came up under their tent. That's what the coach said. The coach said this. Now, what you stating, Steve, might be the truth, but that's what the coach said out of his mouth. He stated that, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, that's a great point right there. The Cal Rittenhouse thing in the assimilate, like the similarities to the situation where he went to a protest with a rifle and got off, even though he ended up shooting people. And like this kid came with a knife to a track meet. And there's like very interesting parallels, but one gets off and one doesn't.
I'm kind of more, the argument G was making earlier around the case, I kind of fall into like the G category about what's the proper level of like retaliation, so forth, so on. Okay. But some of these points that people making about like he shouldn't have been under the tent or whatever the case may be, it's just like I just assume they just never been to a track event. They never been to like.
No, but I'm not stating that you're wrong. What you're saying, I'm saying what the coach said that was part of their duties to make sure no one else was under the tent.
Why would what kind of?
I don't know why the coach would say that. I can't. I'm just speaking.
So I got a question. Was it actually raining, like downpouring, when this whole situation happened?
Some people say it was raining. Some,
Why isn't there a clear understanding of the facts? But I think that's the most frustrating part.
That's one of the most important parts. Like if it's like downpouring and you're just under a tent for cover, is different than sitting under, like going to somebody's bench over in a basketball game where you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Like these are big differences inside like scenarios.
Can I make the statement about the South Carolina case?
Okay.
Yeah. My thing is like I was saying, if someone breaks into your house, right, and they come into your house and then you know what I'm saying, then they run outside the house, you're not allowed to chase them and shoot them and kill them because they already left from where you're at. And even if they had stole something, you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't physically kill them.
In a burglary.
You telling me that someone stole something out your store and you can chase them down and kill them even if they had a gun? That makes no sense right there. See, for you to get for something, force has to be same force, even though if he had a gun on him, but he ran away, which means you shot him in the back. and he was out of your establishment, you hunted that young man down. You hunted him down, and that was a clear case of murder.
Yeah, and I guess like as you just explained it, the fact that there's no witness, or is it one witness that doesn't corroborate them, and he gets shot in the back, what is the likelihood that he doesn't turn around and they just shot him? Like they just made up, like they made up a story, and likely what they made up has a bunch of fabrication to it. And so all dad and son has to do is say, all right, so we're going to say that he fell and we seen a gun and that's why we shot him, even though we shot him in the back.
Yeah.
To me, like that's what I hear when I see the evidence and then hear the case.
You can't go chasing after someone if they're running away from you. If they're out of where you're from and they did no harm to you, you can't chase them down. You're hunting a person. You're hunting a human being down there. What you're doing is coming away from yourself. You're coming away from your safetyness. You're safe where you're at. If you were safe in your establishment and they ran away from you, why would you go chase them? That makes no sense, right?
Don't make no sense at all.
That's illegal because you can't do it in your house. How can you do it in your business establishment?
Yeah, unless they saying, because their whole theory of the case was the gun was never pointed at them allegedly until after they left the store. I don't think they ever claimed that a gun was pointed at them inside of the store.
They didn't know. They never saw a gun in the store.
So that's what I'm saying. So
what did they say when they said he got a gun? That was outside of the.
That was outside of the store, and that was after the gun fell out.
Like when he had failed,
when he was being chased,
and that's after he fell.
Oh yeah.
And what it looked like on the video was he picked up them waters because they told him, they say, put your bag down at the front of the store. You know, that's pretty common in a lot of places. Put your bag down, you know, for the high school, middle school kids. Protocol, you know, whatever. And what it looked like was whenever he was doing with them waters, he realized or remembered or he had that gun in his backpack. He said, you know what? Let me get up out of here. Because I don't need nobody to go pick up my bag and then it's a gun in there. And if you watch the video, he don't break out running as soon as he get up out of the store. He's just, you know, walking around the side of the building. The son, if you go watch the son's demeanor in the video and listen to it, he's very aggressive, hostile, and he, almost violent acting in the direction of where the boy had just walked to. And the boy takes off running. And I find it just so manipulative how these people act one way in the video, but then they portrayed as some old man who just docile and weak and some little son who just some nerd. But that's not how they was acting on the video.
All right.
But would they hold up? I have a question. Would they have treated him like that if he was a white American, or would they do the same to a white American as they did that? So he was black first, then wasn't he? He was black first. He wasn't no American. He was just black. And the way they treat black people is completely different than they treat white people, even though the American title is as a both of them.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Playing the African American shit because as long as you don't call them European Americans, you would not call my ass no fucking African American. Equal rights. If we here and you want to call them, don't call them white people no more. You call them European Americans. If you're not gonna call them European Americans, do not pout your lips up to goddamn yell and say African American me, you ignorant motherfucker. That's the way I feel about it. Because he was black first. They wouldn't have treated him like that if he was a white boy because he was black first. And that's the way they
like
do
I know people in my family who actually shot people intentionally and then get 35 years and killed them and then get 35 years in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
Texas
it just
law is crazy too.
Allegedly, Steve. Allegedly.
No, my kinfolk shot him. He did.
Allegedly.
My kinfolk went to court, said his piece, and did his time like a real upstanding individual. And he ain't get 35 years.
All right, let me ask something. Y'all got it wrong. Backwards. It's God,
let's hit it over.
family, tribe, nation, country. That's the order it should be for everybody. Color has nothing to do with it.
But that's if you believe in God. You can't say everybody
Okay,
believes
then
in
you
God.
cross off God. Now you go family.
Okay.
Like there's like a real order to this shit. Like, and if you don't have a good family standing, then it's tribal. Like and like with us,
but see, the thing is that if you don't have family, you can make your own tribe. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So off of that tribe, and that tribe can come from it being people that's of you. And that's what I'm stating, people of you. Just because someone has a bloodline to you, don't mean that that's your damn family. Sometimes you have to make your own family.
And
bloodline doesn't have a damn thing to do with family.
I agree with that. And that's why you got all, the Bloods and Crips, the original concept of that, and just us coming together out of slavery. Like, so the whole Black American to me is we're our own tribal nation. That's what people don't fail to realize. We're the largest tribal nation in America, ethnic group that will come together for one cause. Africa wishes they could do this. All the countries in Africa wishes one of their tribes could do this. What we have done, nobody has done. This is why we are so powerful. And I told y'all like a year ago, we are the most powerful ethnic group in the world. No one else is more powerful than us. They have created forces, systems to keep us down. When those things go away, we're unstoppable. Everybody knows this. We're not hated because of our skin color. We're hated because of what we have overcome and what we've done and who we are. I'm done.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
You're right. You're right on, man. That's kind of like what I was saying. We kind of like agreeing. Really. We kind of agreeing on it all. You know what I'm saying?
That was for Johnny because he just think black is just a skin color. So, I'm messing with you, Johnny. I'm not.
Hey, check the comments in the back chat.
No.
But
see, and this is what I tried to I tell people at my job this. We are the only group that can handle that group, Steve. And I guess we can say small hats. We are the only group that can handle that group outright. They can't tell us nothing because everything that everybody has done to us, they have done it too. And they have been the leaders in it. But they've been playing both sides. But because they have that one trump card for everybody else, they think they can use like our plight and fake allyship with us and then have our backs. But no, we're the only group. If we want to, I don't want to say, because we're online, but we're the only group that can handle them.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. But
who
everybody talk about the small group.
You got to look in the back chat.
Nobody we need to mention.
Okay. All right.
But you have to look at it far as in the size of things. People always yelling how small of size we are. They're small size.
Nah, pause. I don't know. Speak for yourself.
Niggas he's being real vulnerable right now.
Said we got Diddy problems, man.
No, we don't have Diddy problems. We definitely don't have Diddy problems. But what I'm saying is the amount of actual individuals.
No, we're the largest. We're the largest ethnic group, huh?
No, that's what I'm saying. That we are a larger, ethnic group than they are, but they have more power than we do when it comes down to world things. It's because of what if you look at far as in, it's a whole totality far as in everywhere that they've been and everything that goes on with them. It also has to do with a skin tone as well, as we all know. It is what it is.
But man, when you say that we're the largest ethnic group in America, what do you mean by that?
Statistically, factually, absolutely, we are the largest ethnic group in North America.
So I'm asking, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, Hispanic is not an ethnic group. Latino is not an ethnic group. go on.
When I look up, like according to the census, it says that Hispanic or Latino is 20% and is the fastest growing major ethnic group.
But they're not real ethnic groups.
That's disrespectful.
That's a grouping of ethnic
what
groups.
You calling them? If you look at them far as and where exactly when you say Hispanic, you're speaking of over 50 nations. Damn near 100 and something nations to be exactly. You can't tell me that a person from El Salvador and a person from Mexico is the same lineage. No, they're not.
Okay, so y'all are saying that y'all just disagree with how census formed it.
But it's definitely way more Mexicans than it is black people.
No, there's not. But Mexicans are close, but there's not.
Nigga, do you know the population in Mexico?
No, we're talking about. Sorry, I did.
We're talking about in America.
I messed up. I said North America. You said United States.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, because I'm like, nigga, you making a bold claim now. That's a lot of Mexicans.
United States. I'm sorry, I did mess up.
But you have to also listen. You have to also differentiate the difference between the Mexicans and also the people from the tribes. You understand what I'm saying? The ones that are the conquistadors, people, and the ones that were, as they would call, Native Americans or whatever. They're two different people, but they're from the same country, but they're not the same people. Because even in Mexico, they look down on the people that's from the tribe versus because the other ones say that they have European lineage. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, but they're still kind of all the same ethnic group, and every ethnic group has caste.
But they're not really an ethnic group. They're not an ethnic group. What they are is you have all these different countries that speak the same language. Anybody that speaks the language.
But
it's crazy.
Borders Spanish,
made Spanish speaking.
Yeah, but borders were made afterward, but in general, like this big landmass that was South America. This was a big landmass of similar people that like depending on how they ended up drawing the borders, we would just name them different things. But generally speaking, like same difference if we say European American. Like there's mad European countries, but they're saying that they're from this like specific landmass, and that's the ethnic group that they represent.
Well, this is what I was saying.
That's what I'm telling you is the difference is that they're not all the same because some of them are native to here. The rest of them came from European lineage, and just because they speak the same thing, you don't hear them saying white Mexican. You don't hear them saying
but I think that's like a hyper.
In America, they do.
But like there is like a big difference even inside like you hear them talk about it, but easily to say the majority of South Americans aren't the Spanish people that came over and conquered them. Like phenotypically they're different.
I understand what you're saying.
But to say that they are. A lot of them, if not a good percentage, has mixture of the Spanish people that conquered them. I think that, because I think that is also true, though, and that's a part of what you're saying. But
what I'm saying is that they're muddy. Go ahead.
They got mud too.
They're muddied down as well. But the problem with it is that no matter where you go to, no matter where you sit on this earth, anybody from that fake ass, because Europe is not even a fucking continent. First of all, it's part of Asia. And for you to be a continent, you have to have a massive land that sits around and sits by itself. That's why Australia is a continent. Europe sits in fucking Asia, but they call it a continent. It doesn't even have its own massive land sitting that sits away from anything. So how can it fucking be a continent? It's not a continent. It's just the area that these people came from. But anyway, for me to say what I'm saying is that no matter where you go, the people that's from Europe always anybody and people that come from their lineage always say they're better than everybody that's around. They're better than anybody else. How can they? What makes them so superior to anybody? But no matter where they go, if no matter where you go,
that's their. I think that's the manifest destiny mindset that they have. That's I guess that's literally manifest destiny. It's just a mindset that they take, and that's their rationality to conquering and colonizing the world. Is that they're God's chosen people? This is the again the manifest destiny of what they're supposed to do. Not that I don't think that any of us specifically agree with it, but yeah, I guess like I said, I just was interested in the idea of how Hispanics wasn't the largest one, but I guess you're saying that, or Steve was saying that they're you just disagree with how the census classifies.
No, I came
them
in with
as an ethnic group.
I came in with all of this. You stepped away right when I started doing my whole thing. You're gonna have to replay it, but yeah, Hispanic is not an ethnic group. This is just what the census is creating, and this is why they created us into a lump black sum, right? Because they want us on the same page as. If we get rid of black, then they're forced to get rid of white, and whiteness is not an ethnicity. Just like Mexican, when someone says, "Oh, I'm Mexican," that's like you just saying American. It's like, what type of Mexican are you? Because if you're European,
why do they have to get rid of white if we get rid of black?
Because if you get rid of race, those are the only two so-called "quote unquote" racial categories that are on the census.
No. That's incorrect. That's so incorrect.
Okay, what other ones are racial?
No, you're confusing. They have two ethnic groups. They have two ethnicities. You can either be Hispanic or non-Hispanic. That's the only thing that's two. And then from there, once you choose your ethnicity, you can select from a class of races, which include black, white, Asian.
Okay, you looking to the old stuff. I'm looking to what's happening now and what's happening in 2030. So I'm looking forward. So that's not what it's going to be.
But on a census, didn't it state whether you say Hispanic, are you a white Hispanic? If I'm correct, I remember seeing white Hispanic on the census.
Yeah, it always.
It's like three. I think it's non-Hispanic and then Hispanic and then white Hispanic. I don't know. G, you could probably.
I'm looking at it right now.
But the thing is that
right now.
They have. Go ahead.
So there are going to be where you can mark more than one box.
You can do unlimited
in 2030, so you can mark more than one box, but there are 7 minimum categories. And so it says instead of choosing a race and then answering a separate question about Hispanic origin, they can choose or they can select from 7 minimum categories in a single question plus a write-in option. So there's definitely more than just 2 options. You got American Indian or Alaskan Native, Asian, Black or African American, Hispanic or Latino, Middle Eastern or North African, Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, white, and then they've got some races, and you can fill that bitch out however you want.
Yeah, so if I'm everybody should just fill in everybody's bubble and fuck the whole system up, because it's pointless. It's pointless what they're doing. They're trying to make us all just one group of just colors. Like so,
but that's what you wanted, right? Like when everybody just identifies
like with crayons. We're crayons now. It's crazy, bro. and when I say they,
but who I'm trying to silence? My bad, my buddy.
Hey, when I say they, I'm not talking about just white people. When I say they now, I'm talking about everybody, because there's so many people from every different ethnicity on some agendas that is not good for anybody, except for the globalists.
What it
and
is
putting
that
everybody in large groups is a global ideology.
It's the elite versus the world. That's what it is, to be honest with you.
And just making sure. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. To me, that's what it really is. It's the elite versus the world. The elite don't care what you know. What I'm saying you will never get on their level. So whatever it is, they just puppet masters and just play with us like toys. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can get to a certain thing, but you're not gonna be where they are. I'm talking about the world controllers, not just the people that control America, the ones that them families that control all the world and all of that. You know, so they don't care. They know who they are, and they just laugh at you because you'll never get on their level. And no matter even the whitest, I'm white, they still look down on them. So no matter what it is, always somebody that has somebody to look down on. And the elite look down on everybody, and they just laugh at everybody else just being stupid, being racist and all this stuff towards each other. But at the same point, no matter what you are, you should be proud of who you are. That's the end of it. You know, that's the end of the day. It's nothing wrong with having self-pride. self-love or whatever. But you know what I'm saying, to sit and say that, you know what I'm saying, that you're inferior to anyone is kind of crazy. No one should ever feel like they're inferior to someone else because of the tone of your skin or whatever, or ethnicity you come from or whatever. But it is what it is. That's what it's gonna be. It's always gonna be like that. You have some people that just call self-hate. Some people hate themselves, and they hate. You know what I'm saying? I hate this black skin I'm in. I hate because I'm black. I hate when I go outside and these white people look at me. I'm just a nigga to them. Oh, I hate me. You can't. You sit around and do that. You're gonna be miserable as a son of a bitch the rest of your life. Now, I'm not saying that's you, Johnny. Don't get mad. I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying that's how some people are.
I mean, but it's cool.
Johnny, don't be a hit dog, man. It's all right.
No, I'm not saying that's you, Johnny. I'm saying that's how some
because if
people
it is me, you can tell me,
Johnny, I didn't. Johnny, you know I don't have a damn problem with saying it's you. If not, you know we got a better relationship than that. If I got something to say to you, I'm gonna say it to you.
Johnny, did you feel like you identified with anything that he said?
No, I love myself, so I don't know what.
Hey, Johnny,
what about your skin?
I love my skin too.
Hey, Johnny,
personally, I like it.
Do it make those? Never mind. We'll keep going.
Johnny, all I gotta say, he probably saying sometimes we have a hard time figuring out who's more black, you or Trey. That's what we're trying to say.
Oh, well, listen, I didn't say that. Old man said that. Man.
I mean, I think it ain't no more black. You either black or you not, right? There's a competition now.
Hey, the whole thing
is friends, so yeah, it's always a competition between y'all two.
It's a race, nigga.
Hey, if it's a 100-meter race, y'all the last two that can get in. Who gonna win?
Who got
I'm giving the edge to Johnny, man. I'm giving the edge to Johnny.
Johnny winning that one. Johnny gonna win that one.
Who got the keys? Because none of y'all had the code. So like, y'all ain't got the code. Who got the keys? I'm in this.
Who got the keys?
Hey, Johnny, this spaceship don't require keys. It's DNA only. Hey, this spaceship is DNA only.
Oh, you see my
DNA. But you know it, Johnny. You have a right to believe in anything that you're saying. But I wasn't saying that to say that was you, though. I wasn't saying that that's who you are. But you have people that's out here like that, like the character of the Boondocks. You know, you have people that's like that. And I don't see you being him. I really don't. I don't see you being him. It's just that what it is you say things sometimes that a person might think, but you say, fuck it, I'm going to say it. Because I feel like sometimes, you know what I'm saying, everything that you think ain't meant to be said out loud. But hell, if you say it out loud, and you make a motherfucker mad. Sometimes you got to goddamn crack an egg to goddamn make an omelet. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't mind goddamn cracking that egg. That's it. Be who you are, Johnny. Goddamn, we're not looking. We looking for MAGA Johnny. We don't want goddamn. We don't want Martin Luther Johnny. We want MAGA Johnny to be MAGA Johnny. If you're gonna be MAGA Johnny, goddamn it, be MAGA Johnny. Fuck
I'm a centrist. I don't like either
Johnny.
I'm middle ground Johnny.
Goddamn, you know, president falling asleep, farting and taking shit behind the building and shit. Goddamn, that's MAGA. That's King MAGA. King MAGA takes shit on the side of the White House.
Today
that's King MAGA.
We've started to meet Captain Johnny. That's what I like to call him.
Okay, that's
Captain
what it is.
Johnny.
The Captain Johnny.
That's Captain Johnny.
That's
like
it.
Captain America, Captain Johnny. American first.
We got you, Captain Johnny.
Yeah.
Captain Johnny, instead of having the American star and flag and stuff, he got a big Trump shield on the back of his goddamn tank.
I don't like Trump. Like, I've never said nothing like I don't like Trump. I said too many things.
Johnny, if we roll the clips back in the day, you weren't trying to shoot him no bail?
He did. He said, hey,
We wasn't trying to. You wasn't. So,
what?
Before he was president,
I could have sworn Johnny was a conservative.
Man,
listen, Johnny gave him a lot of things. He was like, nigga, remember.
I could have sworn in the
Johnny.
beginning Johnny was a conservative.
Johnny, when I first started
Johnny
watching the
MAGA.
show, you was the conservative dude. G and them was G.
Anti-liberal. I was not conservative. Maybe.
Yeah, you was. G
I
and
remember
Q
when
was.
Johnny said he was proud of Trump. And he
G
made him
and Q was on the
proud.
opposite side.
Oh,
Trey
but
was.
that's when he was running. That's when he got shot. And he did the. I mean, that was cool. I mean, that was a good.
Nah, bro, this was
a fire optic. You know, the blood was running down. Like that shit was kind of cool.
When the fire got hot and it ain't cool to be. I see what I peep game. It ain't cool to be no Trumper no more. Now everybody want to switch their
Hold on, but
tune
wait
up.
a minute. He is fucked up a lot. There's a lot of people that like. I mean, like,
Yeah, but we could have. People could have told when people told y'all what the inevitable was gonna be. Everybody was like, "Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a
we
chance."
gave him a chance and he fucked it up. So like,
it's like, bro, this dude done fucked up every. Let's just go down his life. He done fucked up everything in his actual life.
After the show, let's finish the show.
Oh, well, my bad.
All right, yeah. So, my bad.
Yeah, you're right.
So, old man, what was your actual take when it came down to being black first or American first? And of course, like don't give us the
I already did it in
generic
detail,
one. And I get it. I just want to hear it then. And I hope you didn't give the generic. Well, black people are American, and so we built it. Just like, what do you identify first as? And black can be interchangeable with FBA.
So I already gave this, and just so your audience doesn't go away. It's always God, family, tribe, nation, country. Color doesn't matter.
You said what doesn't matter?
Color doesn't matter. The only reason we're classified as Black Americans for obviously.
But my man, you said tribe, family,
God, family, tribe, nation, country.
So, what and what do you classify being like FBA black as?
That's the lineage. That would be a tribal nation. The largest ethnic
okay, so you
that's how we
identify
got to the ethnic group.
First.
This is
so
the
first
largest.
would be there then, right? So you would say you identify as that first.
No,
or second. My bad. Second.
So if I go
you
down
identify as God first.
No,
nigga Kanye.
Like what we talking about? Nigga, old man just going on a tangent, man. What you talking about, old man?
No, I'm still what you said.
When you're talking about what people identify as, they identify as God.
Your religion
some
first.
people might say religion, but God has no religion. That's why I say God. I never say religion because God has no religion.
Okay, y'all niggas on some esoteric hotel shit. Yeah, man. What the fuck are we talking about?
When I say God, so say if I was Jehovah's Witness, it would be Jehovah God. So I'll be a Jehovah's Witness first. Then it'd be my family, my last name. Then it'd be my tribe, the people I come from.
And what is that?
My
like,
nation.
That's the FBA.
I got a question though. Like, what if you? Like,
no, the nation is the FBA. The tribe is even more intimate than the FBA.
What's the tribe?
South Central.
The
tribe. Is that like when he said South Carolina
neighborhood?
So hold on. Let me get the order right again. Let me get the order one more time. Is God?
Write it out for him, family.
Is God?
I mean, y'all like gotta understand how somebody identifies.
Of course, you would say that, Johnny, because you always saying dumb shit that we don't understand. So just sit back and relax.
We ain't gotta understand it. It might be over your head. It might be.
I'm just trying to get an understanding of the framework.
You can identify whatever you want to identify.
He said it's God. Then what, old man?
Family. Yep, that's your last name.
Okay.
Tribe.
Which is FBA?
Nope. FBA becomes a nation.
So what's the tribe?
The tribe is your tribe. So in a nation, you can have multiple tribes in a nation. Hence, American Indians. There's multiple tribes.
No, I understand. Like in modern time, like when we talking in like reality of right now, what is the tribe? So like,
my tribe, it doesn't even make sense because I have so many multiple tribes that my lineage is connected to. but the first one and the most recognizable one would be Choctaw. But I have no connection to that, so I wouldn't even say I am Choctaw before even saying black, because it wouldn't even make sense because I'm not even connected to it.
Okay, so in like,
even though it is
like
my
for most
pride.
people right now, if we're just generalizing, so the next step would be nation.
After
I'm
what?
guessing what
Yeah,
you're saying
nation.
is FBA.
FBA. And
Okay.
FBA is a bunch of different American tribes, people who don't classify as tribes, but they might be Aboriginals or classify themselves as whoever were here during the
What else could be
construction of the
inside that
United
tribe?
States. Huh?
Like you said, Aboriginals. What else?
The first people here before this became a United States of America. Those people that indigenous people, however you classify heritage or indigenous historical.
Anybody else?
I already said American Indian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh damn! So like nobody that was brought on slave ships and that?
No, they classify as that. They're Aboriginals. Aboriginal. So when people think of Aboriginal, they think of Australian Aboriginal. This is a type of people.
No. Usually, like Aboriginal, just like the
yeah.
indigenous people of the land. I thought we had covered that inside, like saying indigenous / Aboriginal. But so the black people from Africa that came here,
your whole concept is America,
you look at those
right?
as Aboriginals also, right? Is that what you're saying?
They're Aboriginals of the United States.
All right, so then we're talking. So I'm talking about. So what do you? So is in FBA classification is also
This
Africans
is not an
that came on
FBA.
slave.
I don't know why you keep bringing up FBA. I don't understand.
Oh my bad. So I thought we were saying like when we said nation, I was trying to understand who you was meaning when you said that.
Black American.
Right, and who all is in that? And then you said in Aboriginal, indigenous, and then I said who else? And then I said are people that came on slave ships from Africa a part of that?
Yep,
and then you said they are Aboriginal, and then that's when I didn't understand.
Yep, all of that, everything you just said are included. I don't know why it's confusing.
No, well, you said black people that came on slave ships were Aboriginals. That's the part I'm trying to understand. What you
can I think I can kind of put together what he's saying.
I want old man to put together.
No, I think Q confusing himself. Like black American.
No, I'm not. Like I was.
That term only exists under the United States of America.
I'm
not. It's nothing to be bailed out. Black American.
When you said
the identity of black American
were Aboriginals, what did you mean by that?
They're Aboriginal to the construction of the United States of America.
Okay, all right. So that's what you mean by Aboriginal.
Yeah. So the term or identity of Black American only exists within the concept and the corporation of the United States of America.
Okay, so you look at people that are indigenous, not as Aboriginal to America, but they're just indigenous. But anybody that was here at the start of America, including like white folk, they will be Aboriginal too, then, right?
They are also Aboriginal.
Gotcha.
They are Aboriginal to the United States. They are not Aboriginal American or Aboriginal whatever landmass you want to talk about to Americas.
Gotcha.
So the thing is, like your guys, in a lot of your prompts, you always said America, America. I would never present it as America. I would have presented as the United States, because the United States is a. What's funny? Oh, you're laughing at the comments. The United States is the country. America, and it's specifically North America, is a landmass. It's a region.
Oh my gosh!
Are you responding to me or the comments? So I can.
Or both. He's going to you.
Mute the mic.
He's responding to you, old man.
Geography, man. This is geography lesson. I like it.
And I majored. I could have minored and I chose something else. But yeah.
If you were to play Family Feud, if you were to play Family Feud and ask 100 people what is America, how many people is gonna say what you just said?
Are we talking about being right, or are we talking about being wrong?
but I have said this for years, so it's nothing new with me.
This is my first time hearing that white people are aboriginals. This is new. So I'm just learning.
My first time hearing that. That right there, that's a wild take on. That's a wild take on shit right there.
Anyone want to
see United States? And like as if America's not short for United States of America is just kind of crazy. Like these things are interchangeable.
The thing, no, but G, what he's stating is this right here. We are the only country in this whole continent that claim the whole continent as who we are. Nobody else can say they're American, but we
like Mexicans are technically Americans.
We are Americans, but so is Mexicans American. Canadians are Americans. Even the damn Hondurans, they're Honduran Americans. All of us are Americans. But
why don't Canadians claim to be American then? Why don't Canadians and Mexicans claim to be Americans then?
Because we are cocky. We come from a cocky.
If everybody's American, why are we the only ones that get to rep that?
Because we like that.
We cocky. We can do that.
Nah, see what I'm saying? If that word was universally accepted,
that's what we do. We bully the whole name.
Why don't Brazilians call themselves Americans?
Because we bullied the name. We took the name. That's American job. We take shit. We bully everybody. You know what I'm saying? We bullied the whole continent out the name of a continent to our country. Yeah, we did that. We as Americans, the indigenous white Americans, did that shit.
Aboriginal
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying is that's what it is. We don't have a name like Canadians call themselves Canadians. Why we are in United Stadians?
So before hey guys,
I gotta chill, man. This nigga.
Can I just say this? Before we were called Americans, before we called United States citizens, when you had the colonies, everybody was calling them like Johnny. What he calls, I'm a South Carolinian. That's what actually everybody was calling what the region they were from. This is not a foreign concept. So like the creation of America. That's why this 250th anniversary is new. This shit is new. Like this, everybody who was here before and part of the creation were aboriginal to the creation of the fucking United States. It has nothing to do with...
you really doing some old man shit. You just taking a word and using it how you want to use it versus how it's supposed to be used. That's what old niggas do. That's what old niggas do, man.
If you want to bring up the definition of aboriginal, in the definition of American, you will see that in the dictionary, American states that it referred to copper-colored people who were here before the colonizers, all that shit, and now it refers to the European white colonizers. So, like, I'm being technical. I don't care about...
You are United Stadian. You are a United Stadian. That's what you are.
All right, so it says that aboriginal describes things or people that have existed in a region from the earliest known times, predating subsequent colonists or settlers. That in itself kind of like negates what you're saying. It
doesn't. Listen.
It predating subsequent colonists or settlers. It can be used broadly for indigenous plants or animals. But yeah,
it doesn't go against what I said.
It does.
It literally does because white people were subsequent colonists or settlers.
This is the problem with the word white. There were people of all color in the Americas before those people even came here.
Right, but you said white people are aboriginal. That's what I'm talking
about. No, you said white people are aboriginal.
No,
I said aboriginal. You said it. No, you always come up with the word that makes it fit and it sounds good to you, and then you say,
"Hey, fellas, did I ask him if white people were aboriginal?" And he said yes.
Said aboriginal is Aboriginal American. I said an Aboriginal American is somebody that was here before the creation of the United States of America. You said so. White people are aboriginal.
Did he say yes?
Yes, old man, you said that slaves getting off the boat was aboriginals. You said that all these niggas that made America were aboriginal to America. You did say that.
Yeah, that's what you said. You did say that now.
Like I'm saying, you was talking like an old man, bro. You was just using the word
okay. why wouldn't a slave? No, forget colors. Why wouldn't a slave in the concept of how America was created? Why wouldn't they have we Aboriginal?
Because of the definition,
the
nigga.
United States. Say that again.
Like it's because of the definition. That's the only reason.
That's not the definition.
To define it.
We just read the definition. Now you saying that's not the definition.
Man, that is when y'all young people are so relied on this AI shit that changes every week to week.
Oh Lord, nigga, that was a dictionary definition.
That was
like
an AI definition. I just looked at it when he said it. That's the first thing I checked when everybody Google search. Like, oh, they in AI.
Oh my gosh, now we got to pull out a real book encyclopedia to look up Aboriginal.
Actually, nowadays you need to go to the authentic definition. So if you want to go to the 1828 Webster's Dictionary and search, and it's a website, and search what is the definition of Aboriginal.
I got a dictionary around here. I don't know where it's at.
Man,
but you got
what website? So you say I gotta go to 1832, nigga? 1832
dictionary where they said that black people was 1/5 of a human being.
That was in the dictionary too.
Like, what about just?
All right now.
What about good old just Merriam-Webster? Like, that was established 1828. You don't want to know what Merriam-Webster says?
Don't you want to go to the earliest book when these terms came out instead of what is happening now?
Nigga,
with all this technology, wouldn't you rather do something
nigga?
like
I
that?
just said Merriam-Webster 1828. Is that early enough for you?
I said,
where's my dictionary?
1828.
That's what I'm saying. All right, 1828. We on the same page.
If you go in there, look up.
Can I read it? Hey, matter of fact,
or black person and see what they think about us back then.
Put it in private chat. I got you.
Straight from Merriam-Webster 1828. Just like old man wanted.
Okay.
Come on, man, old man. You gotta just stop this fool.
Okay, read it.
That's pre-Reconstruction.
Read it.
Being the first or earliest known of its kind present in a region, indigenous, native, of relating to the descendants of the earliest known inhabitants of a place, and especially of a place that was colonized, indigenous, specifically Aboriginal or less commonly Aboriginal, whatever, referring to, of relating to or descended from the group of peoples who, along with Torres Strait Islanders peoples, are the earliest known are inhabitants of Australia. Do you want me to read this?
No, I mean you just read it.
I want you to read the truth. Look.
Oh my God! Like, go straight to the source. You say go to the 1828. Go to
I'm on the source that I told you to go to. Is the URL is right there. I can put it. You can share the screen, or I can put it in your private chat.
Post it.
I'll put it in the private chat.
There you go. Look up what the history, what the meaning of being a black person in America was since you're doing that. look up what a Negro was.
Well, that's a fact too. There, like if we use this same American dictionary, what does it say meaning? Being black means.
Bro, your definition.
This says Aboriginal. First original primitive Aboriginal people are the first inhabitants of a country.
Oh man,
Aboriginal
relax, man.
Tribes of America.
This
so
shit don't mean no different.
Let's stop over talking them and read it and understand. He just read it.
Yeah, I still don't understand how
inhabitants of
a primitive
country.
Inhabitants.
Nigga, we weren't the first to inhabit this place.
Listen.
Oh, this is what you're trying to go to. The first settlers in a country are called Aboriginals, as the Celts in Europe and the Indians in Americas.
This is not prove your point, nigga.
Listen. You see, it says the first settlers in a country are called Aboriginals.
And as they give examples, nigga. They give examples.
You can give examples until infinity.
Look up the word settler.
Nigga. No, see, this is where it falls apart.
No.
They didn't say like slaves in America. They said like Indians in America.
What does are the first inhabitants of a country mean to you? Wait, go. Why you on? I'll read
can go
mine.
back.
What does,
First,
I want to
meaning
see what they said about
original.
black.
what does, wait,
OG,
wait,
nigga.
let me just finish the question.
You
Just listen. What does first inhabitants of a country mean to you? And what does first settlers in a country? What does those two mean to you?
OGs. I was here before anybody else got here.
Yeah,
Forget color. What does that mean to you? That means
it says original or primitive inhabitants.
I just explained what it means, bro.
It doesn't mean that's it. Listen,
okay.
I'll just tell you what it means to me, and you can just say you're wrong. All right. So when someone says first inhabitants of a country, and they say the first settlers of a country, that means those are the people who were here before the country was created. There was a lot of different people here before the country was created. That doesn't make them indigenous to this landmass. That doesn't make them native to this landmass. That makes them aboriginal to the building of the country of the United States of America.
Oh man, just because you got loud don't make it correct.
No, I'm right. Whatever you want to say, I'm right.
You should have went to Merriam-Webster 1728.
He right. He right.
I guess
I know y'all. I know the phrase Aboriginal is tied to a specific type of human being that we have seen in Australia.
No, we're not talking about that though. We're not making that. Nobody's saying that.
I'm just saying, either I'm wrong or you're right and you're right.
No, all right. So old man, I guess this is where I'm interested in understanding your POV and what you're talking about. So, how would you say that Africans off the boat are aboriginal to American then?
So
because they weren't a part of the first settling class.
Hey, y'all conflating the landmass with the country.
No, right now we're not. We're being like very like this question is now very specific to a statement that he said earlier that deals with the United States of America and its its beginnings. How are they aboriginal
to the United States of America?
But this is the old man.
He asked me a follow-up question. So the people who came here on slave ships,
okay,
did not start after 1776. They were also here. They were actually brought here for that purpose. Oh. So they become aboriginal to the creation of the United States of America, the country. There is no country. They're only colonies. I'm not saying they're aboriginal.
You're trying to argue that because there was no sovereign quote unquote country called the United States, that the people who were here prior to that beginning, as long as you made it here before 1776, you're aboriginal, and that's just not true.
It is true. What I read and what you saw is 100% facts. I'm very literal. You might not be a literal person, but if you read the words without emotion, that's what it says.
You can't make this emotional.
I just want
you just don't understand words.
Okay, I must be illiterate. I'm gonna get my degree back.
Is that TBI?
It gives you an example. It literally, it's crazy to read a definition and then ignore the examples. The Celts in Europe, the Indians in America. So it gives a definition and examples. None of those examples speak to what you're talking about.
But it doesn't mean the examples stop there. It doesn't.
I'm not saying it stops there, but the examples are along. They have to go along those lines. Your examples don't even go.
Man.
They don't fit.
Right, man. You're fighting using battle.
He's right. Let him. Let's hear Fat Boy. Let's see what Fat Boy got to say. Go ahead, Fat Boy. Speak, young man.
Before Fat Boy goes, Quincy was here first. I do want to allow.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. That's what I was talking about, Quincy. Go ahead and let Quincy say what he's saying.
So way back, German Americans are actually the biggest ethnic group. Black Americans are the second biggest ethnic group in America. And it was right about Hispanics. They just all lumped together. Cubans, Cuban Americans, Mexican Americans, Puerto Rican, they all just lumped in together. But as far as like one, it's like German Americans and then Black Americans.
Okay,
I saw that a while ago.
You also don't agree with how the census identifies ethnic groups, and that's where your main argument is, right?
Yeah, well, see, yes, because we are in a transition period. I'm pretty sure I said this on the show before. We in a transition period where we kind of moving from race into ethnicity. They're trying to say it's a country of immigrants, and that's starting to be reflected in all of the forms and the what is it, the census and all of that stuff. They're actually updating it. Like even you see, I think Asians actually have a real good breakdown, like all kind of check boxes for all the different Asians. It's not just like one checkbox for Asians. So I think we're in the transition period and people trying to kind of get the language right. But yeah, but like I mentioned, y'all conflating the landmass with the country. If the first reported, from what they said, 1619, the first slaves arrived, but I heard 1521 at some point. But so we just say 1619, which is about 150 years before 1776. Then what would you call those slaves who've been sitting around slaving for 150 years before the country was created? What would you say they were to America?
They were indentured servants.
I think
they were indentured servants first.
Let me answer the question here.
No. I'm talking about to America.
To America, they are part of the fabric of America. They are like
the creation.
The thing is, because you're here at the inception of something, can make you say original to America, but aboriginal means something else. That's all I'm saying. Original and aboriginal are not synonymous.
Do you tie aboriginal to the landmass?
I tie it to the location. Yeah, like who was here on the land out before?
No person was here on a land before it, so that it can't be about the land.
Oh my God.
Well, people. Let me.
If you have that definition, then there's no aboriginal period. But yet we know there are. The term means something. Like we create, like language, like words get created to describe things. And all I'm simply saying is you're using aboriginal out of context. That's like the point you're making about Black people being here at the start of America as a sovereign country is undeniably true. That does not inherently make them aboriginal, is what I'm just trying to let y'all know.
I just want to take it away from the United States and America real quick. Aboriginal Australians, everybody's familiar with them visually and just their whole story for the most part. Before they got to that continent, if we go with the out of Africa theory, they came from Africa, right? So that means they're aboriginal to the creation of Australia, the country. Like it is, that's what they are. They were the first.
But what you saying don't make sense.
Can we get back on the topic of
you
the show?
don't want it to make sense because
what you just said makes no sense in relation to slaves. You just compared niggas who walked over land bridges and migrated out of Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago to niggas who got transported from a boat across one ocean to the next. This shit is not comparable.
What does the term slave have to do with anything? Take the word slave out. People, the people who came over here, however they came over here, that helped build the country, whether they were forced to or weren't, they were aboriginal to the creation of the United States. I think you're caught up on being aboriginal.
You can't say you're not even using the word in the sentence the correct way, man. You can't be aboriginal to the creation. That sentence makes no sense.
What's Karmelo?
I'm just trying to help niggas speak proper English. Please don't go in front of a white man saying this because it sounds silly. You cannot be aboriginal to making a.
I'm speaking in front of a man right now. I'll be more proper. They were aboriginal to the construction of the United States. Is that better?
Still failed the exam. That sentence does not fly.
Johnny, aboriginal to South Carolina.
They're aboriginal to the of the country of the United States. That is, I'll use the definition. They are the first inhabitants of a country of the United States. That's what was on the definition. Do you want me to keep going? They were the first settlers in a country. Or do you want me to say they were the first slaves in the country of the United States? However you want to put it.
Bro, oh man, you sound silly, bro. I'm sorry.
You can say
I don't even got
but we all
you sound silly, bro.
But you're not justifying it. You just drown it.
No, I literally read several definitions.
That's humility.
I literally read several definitions, and you refuse to accept just what words mean, and you choose to create sentences that don't mean anything in English, and then want to argue about them. I don't know how to
dictionary 1828 definition.
I don't know how to argue about sentences that don't even speak English.
Please just explain was Karmelo or Aboriginal? Was Karmelo Aboriginal?
Oh man,
That's what this show is about. Him.
This would be a good time for Fat Boy to hop into the chat.
Back on
Fat Boy,
topic,
talk to
please.
us. Fat Boy, if you're still there, I'm gonna toss the alley to you.
These niggas think original means aboriginal. An original and aboriginal are not the same. I just want to let niggas know that.
Hey, G, I know exactly what I'm saying. I've been saying this for decades. I know
don't tell me you
I know what original means. I know what aboriginal means.
I don't think so.
And original.
I don't
hey, real quick. Hey, related to that, what made me jump on was actually when y'all was talking about identifying as American and who identifies American.
All right, yeah,
I heard a interesting thought that made me look at it kind of differently, right? Because we say Black American is an ethnicity, and technically the only three American ethnicities are the original white settlers, the Native Americans, and Black Americans, right? And anybody who came afterwards, they are, German American, whatever, right? And I heard this guy, he said, well, just because you in America, we say you're American if you have American citizenship, but that really just means you're an American citizen. That don't mean you're actually American, technically, right? Because if I go to China and get China citizen, they're not going to say I'm Chinese now. They're going to say I'm a China citizen. But in America, we just don't say it like that. We kind of use shorthand language or whatnot. So it was just a interesting. I heard a guy say that and it kind of stuck in my mind ever since that. People say they're American. I'm like, you Indian. You just showed up yesterday. You ain't American. You're an American citizen. And it's a difference between being an American citizen and being an American, like an ethnic American. And I think people kind of try to. I think people, or not. I think in general, overall, we kind of blew past.
What's the ethnic American, Quincy? Just so I understand, what's an ethnic American?
Black Americans who descend from U.S. slavery, Native Americans who sitting on those plots of land that the government set aside for them, the Cherokees and all of those, and then the white folks. I think the white folks call it what they call them, heritage Americans, or the ones who date back to. That's what they call themselves. Like those three groups.
I got an interesting question for you. So you separate Black Americans and Native Americans?
Yes.
The original three groups. The original three groups.
Okay.
But my understanding, Quincy, when you ask that question sarcastically, Q, he's not saying that the Native Americans, so-called American Indians, weren't also Black.
I thought he just said that there was three distinct.
I should ask him. Whether
no,
right?
Yeah, the three original. Anybody who descends back to those three distinct groups, those are ethnic Americans. Now, granted, we Black Americans, we mix all three. That's what makes us unique. We just mix all three. It is what it is. But yeah,
but they all started differently, though, right?
But
that's what made them distinct, is that they was like different.
But it doesn't mean they look differently.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean they look differently either, Q.
But an ethnicity gotta mean something, right? Like
phenotype, but part of
ethnicity speaks to some differences somewhere, right?
Yeah,
but it
does. But ethnicity also does have a beginning too.
Yeah, and
like Black Americans don't.
What makes the white Americans, heritage Americans, ethnically identical Black Americans?
They're not identical.
They're not identical.
Some differences.
You said they all. Because I'm like, what's the right way to format that word? Ethnically. What's the equivalency between the three? Because you said all of these three make them American. Like,
okay. So we
denominator
and original
from an ethnic standpoint.
Yeah, I said original. So we're not a what's a homogeneous country. We're not like China where everybody's Chinese. We're not like Nigeria where everybody's Nigerian. We're not, that ain't us. Like that ain't our origins. Our origins start with those three groups. So those three groups are the three original. Let's say I put it like this: if you want to just say those three groups are ethnically American at its core, then I say that. But we all know we've always separated the three, even though we all up under the ethnic American umbrella. Is white American, Black Americans, and Native Americans. That's the original three ethnic ethnic groups in this country.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean that.
American,
it doesn't
we are
mean
more or
that.
less mudded down when we mix with Black, Native, and white. All of us have all those in our ancestry as Black Americans because of what we went through over these hundreds of years. That's what.
But it's not like. But we started as like three distinct different groups, and then we mudded out. Okay.
Well, they had there was an act. There was I forgot, it's like the Virginia Act or something where they reclassified all of the Native Americans in Virginia to be Black and to be Negroes.
We went
So and then of course some Native Americans, huh?
No, I said we went through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this happened.
They tried me back when I went to that. I had to give them like the 1830 definition, the 1924 Act. I had to give them all that. They still didn't want to accept it. So it didn't matter
for a reason.
What about what are they?
They don't want to accept
in Appalachians. What are the Melungeons? Because they don't know what the hell they are. You know the ones that Appalachians that look black, white, and all that stuff.
Oh, the purple people.
The Melungeons, yeah.
The Melungeons and the Appalachian Melungeons.
They got like blue skin. It's crazy.
Hey, Quentin, you know how I explained to people what you said about the difference between America, citizenship, and all that stuff? I just say you're ethnic American or you're a United States citizen. I don't even put American in the other part because that's when they get confused. See, we just say American and everybody lumps it into the United States of America. So that's why I just say you're either ethnic American or United States.
Don't look black at all.
And look for the record, I understand why when it comes to Black people speaking about Native American, why the conversation get kind of funny, because back in the day, Negroes did get a little too happy with saying they were claiming being Native American. Not saying they was lying, but you know how a lot of times Negroes want to run from being Black and grab something else, grab whatever they can, and that did happen, and that kind of. Yeah, that is true. But I'm just saying that I think the reason why when it's said out loud, it gets the response that it does is because of how people treated it back in the day. And so we kind of conditioned to just, nigga, you ain't no Native American. We kind of just brush it off when the truth, when they was doing too much.
It was kind of used like the flex.
The Melungeons, they have darker skin. And they have features of everything. And that's a weird combination. They didn't know what to call them. Look at them. They didn't know what to call them. That, you know what I'm saying? Because it's black and white colors, but you can still see the black undertone on their skin, and you can tell they're not all the way white. They're not black. They're not. You know what I'm saying? That's like a mudded. What they did was all of them got together and just created a whole group of people. Now that's a group right there that's something different. You feel what I'm saying? But us as Black, we do have a lot more, if you want to put it down to African into us, but we're not African because it's weird to say we're not them because we're so removed from them, and the way we're mudded down completely different. But even though as far as in the skin tone and things of that nature, it comes from that. But we're not the same people. We're just not. We're not them. We're not the Melungeons, but you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about mudding down in America, them.
And to your point again.
And fellas, man. Like,
let me just finish with Quincy real quick before you go.
I just want to close it because
it's quick second. It's not even required response. And to your point, Quincy, like an original, let's use G's perspective, an original American, right, is different than a Native American citizen, right? You can be a Native American citizen and not be an original American.
Man, I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Correct.
If you're born now in America, United States of America, you're a Native American citizen.
Why are you saying Native American citizen?
Because everyone uses this term like when you can.
So
you
if a Chinaman come over here tomorrow and his wife have a baby, that's a Native American citizen.
Yeah.
Yes, it's classified as that. That's the whole thing that is going on.
It's crazy. All right, so nonetheless, fellas,
this is a fun.
No, I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. Native American citizen. I never even heard this term.
I can go home, fellas. This has been fire. If you want to tap into the rest of this conversation, I just dropped this the stream link into the chat, and the rest of this conversation will continue inside the after show. But with that said, this has been a fun episode of the To Be Fair show. Again, we went and unpack. Presented by the To Be Fair show and the
GSH podcast.
There you go. And yeah, again, we've talked Karmelo, we've talked Cyrus, we talked Black and American identity. Fuck it, we did Aboriginal too. And with that said, this has been a fun episode, and we out. Peace. Oh, my bad. Shout out to G-Axis Media, Johnny, Unk, Old Man, A Black, Steve, Fat Boy. He didn't talk, but Quincy, and like that, we out. Peace.
Even you. It doesn't matter.